Sunbathed Albury Sports Ground is the venue for our O&M Live match of the day between the Albury Tigers and the Wangaratta Rovers. My name's Gus McLeod, joined by Scott Montgomery and Brad Frick in the call box, and Sky Burgess boundary side, thanks to our good friends at Waters. Sky, what are conditions like there at ground level?
They're absolutely beautiful today, Gussie. I would say this is the perfect day for footy today. The sun is shining, not many clouds out and hardly any breeze.
And of course, we have had a lot of rain across the last 24 hours, Sky. What's the grass surface like underfoot?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's not. I think the sun's out, so it's gotten rid of the dampness. It's pretty good. The boys shouldn't have anything to complain about today.
Of course, it's probably the best ground in the country. Scott Montgomery.
The country, not the MCG, not, you know.
And in the regions. It does look absolutely sensational today. How lucky are we to play on a surface like today with the rain we've had in the last 24 hours?
It's unbelievable, and obviously great drainage here right next to the river, and it always has been one of those grounds since they've done the upgrade about 15 years ago that just holds up so well, and obviously full-time curator here as well. It's a great effort from all those involved here at Albury Sports Club to get this sorted, and if they don't get a final this year, I'll tell you what, there's something wrong, I think.
The captains have been to the middle, Luke Daly of the Albury Tigers and Sam Murray of the Wangaratta Rovers. The toss has been done. Sky Burgess, which way are our teams kicking this afternoon?
Look, you're going to have to bear with me on this one. I've seen the world's smallest point, I think, come out of Luke Daly, so I'm pretty sure home team Albury Tigers won it. He did a tiny little point over his shoulder towards the Noriel end of the ground, so I'm pretty sure that's the way.
Well, we'll work it out pretty quick.
Yeah, very quickly.
If players start going the wrong way, but Sky Burgess doing a cracking job. Boundary side for Waters. Freaky on the 40 wing stat sheet. Who are we keeping tabs on this afternoon?
Yeah, for the Albury Tigers side of things, we've got Elliot Powell, Bryden Hodgson, Anthony Miles, Riley Bison, George Hall Smith. And for the Wangaratta Rovers, we've got Brodie Philo, Sam Murray, Jack Garish, Lockie McCartney and Alex McCarthy.
Of course, a couple of really handy players there. Monty, talk us through how you see today's game playing up, mate. Obviously, you know a lot about both of these sides and not so much some of the tactics they may use. We might have a bit of inside information, but talk us through the game styles and how they're going to look to combat each other.
Yeah, I think both teams play very similar styles. They like to get it by hand and get moving through the middle of the ground. I think that's a massive thing today. Both teams need to defend the centre of the ground really well. Don't let the team come back through and transition out the other side to an open forward line. They need to keep them down the same wing. It makes it a lot easier to defend for the back sixes, and we've spoken about the Albury back six, where we rate that. We think it's 1-2 in the competition, but the Rovers, as we've spoken about, Jason McQuaid back in there, Pup Clark's got his fitness back. They're quite a strong back six as well for those two in, so it's going to be really interesting. It comes back to where the middle of the ground, what they can do through there, because I think both forward lines have a chance to really kick a score if the ball gets in there often enough. Sky
Burgess for Waters, a tip from you this afternoon?
What I'm going to say is controversial. I picked Albury, but I would
foot in both camps.
I would like Wang to win. I think if they get that spark going they can win, but I did pick Albury. I think they will win.
So who are you going with, Sky?
I'm going to have to stick with pick Albury. Head and heart, you know. It's two different ways.
Freaky on the 40 wing stat sheet.
Aubrey just only because it's at home, but I think there's only going to be a goal or two in it today.
No, I think it's going to be an absolute cracker. Scott Montgomery.
Yeah, I'm going to go Aubrey because Wendy Lester hates me tipping against Rovers, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Jeez, it's a bit of a personal
She even just had a bit of a go at me through the window, mate. So
did she?
Yeah, we'll just let her know, see what happens.
I'll tell you what, the elevation here, you don't miss much. Down here, boundary side here at the Albury Sports Ground. We are right on top of the action. Albury are only presenting 3 players to the bench. So
no, there was somebody went there earlier.
Someone went there earlier?
Yeah, I can't
Got there a bit too quick for you, Gussie.
I was going to say, getting there very quick, of course.
Might have been a head count in the first 10
Sky's
seconds.
all over it, she'll be able to tell you.
Of course.
I can't see a fourth person.
Oh, 3.
Jeez, I hope...
Yeah, no, 3. Can confirm.
Only 3. Well, watch this space. There must be someone else on the ground.
Might have ducked out
Someone's
the back.
coming out from down the...
Wonder what they were doing.
Yeah.
Might have found a bush back there, you reckon, Sky? You're looking pretty closely.
I say nothing. Okay.
A PG-rated broadcast coming your way this afternoon. The Tigers are kicking to the Noriel Park end of the Albury Sports Ground. The Rovers, they're kicking towards the Botanic Garden. And Sky Burgess boundary side for Waters. Brad Freaks on the 40 wing stat sheet. And to take away the action for the Old Town and Country, it was Scott Montgomery on O&M Live.
Here we go, 2 of the best in the competition. Christie and Muller go head-to-head. Shutt just gets it on a boot straight away. Centre clearance to Aubrey, and there's that man, Hodgson. When talking about him, gets a lot of possessions for Aubrey, gets the first mark for the day, and finds his coach Miles as they try to come back through the middle. Goes short to Muller. Muller looks to give a handball. Goes wide and now finds Jesse Wilson, working hard off half-back. Just plays on. Mark Lewin chase. Kicks it down the line now towards Gala. Bounces in front and Gala slips over. We'll have a boundary throw in. Bit sloppy there from Jesse Wilson. Needed to hit that. He had a bit of space, Jeffy, around him. But we'll have a boundary throw in about 65 away from the Albury goals. And take it away, Gussie.
Thanks, Mont. Good to have your company on O&M Live. First quarter for A-grade oils and batteries. We'll bring the footy back into play. And Holland Smith, he's on the 40-wing stat sheet as the Tigers go inside 50. At the back of the pack there was Williamson for the Rovers, trying to get an assist. Inboard now, it's Holland Smith for the Tigers. Little grubber kick in the Garlett direction's okay. Gets a handball to Miles and Powell. He tried to claim a mark that went 2 metres. Shimmies and shakes onto the right boot. It's the worst kick Powell he'll do all afternoon. It's to the top of the goal square, and I tell you what, Monty, we've seen a lot of Elliot Powell. Haven't seen him kick the footy that poorly before.
No, we haven't. As Sam Murray's done to the pump. McNamara gets it back and goes short. Called the play on straight away. McQuaid kicks it down the line. Chamberlain. Well done, Powell. Brought it to ground. Holland Smith just corralled. Ball gets flicked back. McCartney gets a handball back again. Thrown on the boot from Pup Clark. It's got a dangerous one, but I think it's going to fall fortuitously. And Brodie Fowler takes a chest mark uncontested in the back half. Talk about Elliot Powell missing targets. You don't see that from Brodie Fowler either, as he misses Dylan Wilson out here all by himself. And we'll have another boundary throw in right in front of Braden O'Hara, who's got the pink on today. I'll tell you what, it's not bad colour for Braden to be rolling with.
I don't mind it.
No, just Brodie Fowler and Jeffy Garlett looked like they had a collision before. I don't know if it was a little bit of a head knock or anything there, so just maybe have to watch that space throughout the day.
A lot of players slipping over early, so we might see a change in boots for a couple of these players as the ball's in a bit of a contest centre wing. Byrne got taken high. He got taken by Lockie McCartney, who's changed his hair colour about 5 times this year, Monty, which is really hard for commentators.
It is. He looks like a different man without that bleach, doesn't he?
Byrne goes inside 50 for the Albury Tigers out the back. Making a contest was Bice. He brought it to ground level. Ball spills towards the boundary. Garlett can't keep it alive. And we'll ball the footy in 50 metres out from the Tigers' goal as we cross boundary side to Sky Burgess and Waters. A lot of the boys slipping over early days.
They are, and I've gone and said the ground is in good conditions. So, look, I would be pretty happy playing on these conditions. It might just be an adjustment period for them.
Ball gets tossed in inside 50. McCartney wins it for the Rovers. Quick hands on from Williamson to Philo. Over to McNamara. Another handball there. They love linking up by hands, the Rovers. Garish now on the move. Tries to go to Philo. Have to look away. Missed him, but he gets it anyway. On the boot now by Philo. Comes across to McCartney. McCartney wants to take a bit of time out of it. I think he's going to go back to where it come from. Not a great kick, but he's got plenty of time out there, Paddy McNamara. McNamara now just bounces beautifully for him. Sits it out in front of Garish. Garish is working hard. Great tackle there from Reece King. And we'll have another boundary throw in as the boys just continue with it as it goes over. And we'll have a look at quickly at the 40-wing stats with Brad Freak.
Yeah, Lockie McCartney already up to 5 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. Inside the first 4 minutes of the game, he's been out 5. And Brodie Filo's up to 3 as well for the Wangaratta Rovers.
Panda Escort has called for the siren to be blown at Bunton Park. They lead 1-0 around the grounds for Bingley over the Lavington Panthers, and back here at the Albury Sports Ground. Scores are still at a deadlock on the Paulie's Corner scoreboard, and we should have another ball up on the far side of the Albury Sports Ground. Brad Freak for 40 winks.
Yeah, as we touched on, Lockie McCartney started well for the Wangaratta Rovers. He's up to 5 disposals, 2 early inside 50s for the Albury Tigers and 2 early touches for George Hall as well.
Almost gone 4 minutes here on the Macca's time clock as Miles kicks up to half forward for the Albury Tigers, and the conditions, well, the boys aren't playing the conditions very well, I should say, Mons.
They're not, but one thing I love to see is Luke Daly has gone straight to Sammy Murray and has given it to him. He's standing behind him and he's just bumping him in the back. Love to see it. Don't mind it from Luke Daly. Ball gets tossed in now. Isaac Muller wins the tap, but Philo sharks it. Gets it on the boot pretty quick and kicks about 65 metres down the line. Jesse Wilson, front position, did well. Brought it to ground. Amory was the first there, but gets it over the top. That man, Mark Luge, just got some space, but got a poor bounce. And we'll have another boundary throw in. I reckon that's about 7 or 8 already in the first 4 minutes, as it's a deadlock here at 0-0.
I love the way that the Wangaratta Rovers structure their forward line. They get everyone up the ground. Toby Murray then was the deepest forward, and they had Mark Lew and Boyd up around about the 50. Just give the forwards some space.
So Christie won the tap, got it down to McCartney, and he's wrapped up in a Hall and Smith tackle. We'll ball the footy up 50 metres out from the Rovers' goal. They're in front of the Terry Cross can bar here at the sports ground. And up goes the footy once again. Muller just tries to take Christie out of the equation as Miles comes through. Got to kick away in the nick of time. Hall and Smith brought it down to ground level. Duncan lurks around the contest. Christie and McCartney burrow through. We'll have another stoppage here.
Bit of a lurker, Dunks, isn't he?
He just loves this linking around for the little handball at the back, does Dunks. Miles clears the lines for the Albury Tigers with a high up and under down the wing. McQuaid made a good fist, falls the way of Reece King. His handball was poor, puts the Tigers under the pump. And we'll have another stoppage here. You guessed it, on half forward for the Wangaratta Rovers. 5.5 minutes gone, Macca's time clock.
I love Reece King's addition to the Albury Tigers team. Gives them a bit of grunt in the middle of the ground, their forward half, just a bit of hot pressure that they probably they've lacked at times throughout the year. And I think the last month their pressure's probably been as good as it has been all season, and it's no coincidence that he's been the one that's come into the game. But best player for Albury when they played Wangaratta a couple of weeks ago.
And we'll have another boundary throw in. I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of stoppages so far. Your pen's going to run out of ink doing the clearance lane freaky as Mullers takes it out of the ruck and just gives a handball to Power. Power just paddles along in front and keeps going. 3 or 4 paddles and there he goes. Oh, got a high one. No, the umpire said play on. No, he's paid it now. So Power will get a free kick about 70 away from goal. Want to get it moving quickly. Lots of space in that forward half. Looks down the line towards Conlon. Falls short of him and bounces up for Clark. Clark gets caught with it. Ball comes out. O'Brien's first there. Gets shepherded off the footy. Here we go now. Here comes one for them. Byrne gets on the boot. No, smothered straight away. Falls towards Sam Murray. He'll want to use that nice long left boot, but slips as he kicks. O'Brien gets a hand on it, but falls to Shut. Shut just throws onto the boot, but it's going to go straight to Anthony Miles, and it's going to go back inside 50 here quickly for the Albury Tigers.
He goes over the top. Bice is 60 from home. Left foot, Chisler into the pocket. It hit Hall and, in fact, Cole behind a Hennessy on the chest, but he just couldn't quite bring it in. It allows the Rovers to open up the fat side. A clever free kick there from Page up against, I think it was Jack Garish it was, and just allowed the Tigers to set up behind the footy as Garish comes in board to McCartney. Back onto Garish and Hall and Smith. Poleaxes him into the deck. And the Albury Tigers will love that. A real team booster there from Hall and Smith. Freaky.
Just have to be careful of the Albury Tigers. Toby Murray's in a lot of space forward of the ball. They're the second time that that's happened that the Albury defenders have been sucked up the ground a little bit. They just have to be wary of the Rovers players holding back.
As the ball now falls towards Gaynor. Quick handball to Hall and Smith. What a hot start from Hall and Smith. Throws onto the boot around the body. We're going to have another boundary throw in right in the forward pocket here for the Albury Tigers. I reckon this will be world record pace for stoppages at the moment, boys.
Oh, it'll have to be.
Have the Wangaratta Rovers gone inside 50 yet, Freaky?
Once, and it was very shallow. Would have only been about, they would have got about a metre.
Derek wouldn't have paid it.
7.5 minutes gone for Macca's. Great to have you company on O&M Live in the first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries as we bring it into attack for the Tigers. Muller to Hall and Smith trying to bust his way through the pack. Gets it onto Bice with the left foot snap. Top of the goal line. Bounces back into the field of play. Murray, this is Sam. Got to be clean for the Rovers. Gets it onto Wilson. He's at centre half back and he gets around King. Takes a bounce, wants to come in board. Dangerous one there. Finds its way to McNamara as the ball gets up the wing. The Rovers are into attack and it's the big Ibis on the lead, Monty.
And here we go. Ibis versus Conlon. Conlon wins this one at ground level. Gets a quick handball to Hodson. Hodson now gives over to Page. Bit of time there for Page, and now Bice. Bice takes a mark, true centre wing on the far side. Gets on the boot quickly. Daly's got out the back, and he's done well. Should have taken that one. Well done, Will Nolan. Got back hard. Daly takes Murray to ground, and Will Nolan's back on the ball now. Just goes a bit short down the line. 2-on-1. Oh! Amory got up. Elijah Amory got up there. Couldn't quite hold it. Falls to Albury now. Gaynor's the one onto it. No, it's Chamberlain who chops it off for the Rovers. And we're going to have another stoppage on the half-forward flank here for Albury. Still gone 8.5 minutes on the Macca's time clock. 0 all.
Anthony Miles up to 5 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. George Hall and Smithy's had 4. And for the Wangaratta Rovers, 6 to Lockie McCartney and 4 to Brodie Philo.
Would have been a Mawson's concrete mark of the day from Elijah Amory. Gee, he got up high. Couldn't quite bring it to ground. And after all that, you haven't missed much action. The ball's still on the outer side wing. It's in the hands of Wilson for the Wangaratta Rovers. Across half back, he kicks the ball just past true centre wing. Muller went courageously, missed a lot of the pack. At ground level, Wilson comes through. Kick wasn't great. Ibis Murray tries to find Philo. Lucas Conlon had a drop kick, missed his boot and regathered the footy. He kicks it up now to half forward. I tell you what, I know we're broadcasting on radio, but if you get the chance to watch that footage back, that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Lucas Conlon missed the football.
He's a senior footballer, isn't he?
And he bounced straight back up to it.
We did a whole segment on him being the best defender in the comp, and he can't even make contact with the footy.
As the ball comes in, Elliot Powell gets tackled straight away. Goes inside 50 for the Albury Tigers. Jackie Garish first on it, but Luke Daly's the one who's picked it up. Got tackled straight away by Garish, and we'll have another ball up, about 30 out from goal. Boys, that is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time in a Lowland field. Oh, Lucas Conlon, that's going to be played in review during this week, I reckon. As Shutt gets the clearance for the Rovers, kicks it out. Mark Lou flies high, but brought down by Wilson. And then Dylan Wilson for the Rovers. Gets a handball over the top towards Amory. Chopped off by Max Byrne. He's going to go towards O'Brien. And I guess what, boys? We're going to have another boundary throw in. Paulie's Corner Cafe cannot be happy about this. We're still 0 all on the Paulie Corners Cafe scoreboard. Gone 10 minutes on the Macca's time clock as we go boundary side to Sky Burgess.
What a game, boys. I tell you what, you can tell it means something to both of them. It's got that finals feel. They're both kind of fighting for it. And that's what I'm putting down this pressure too.
So the Albury Tigers have possession. Hall and Smith, 50 from home. Kicks to the hot spot. Conlon. Well done, Pup Clark. Got a good fist. The Rovers have numbers. They're going to come out towards the broadcast side wing. Bit of a one-on-one contest. Henderson had a good crack, got the handball inboard to McQuaid. He fumbles and regathers and just pumps it as far down the line as he possibly can. But Jesse Wilson sits in the hole and intercepts to the Tigers. Little dinky chip kick. Good use of the body there from Bice to allow Unfank over the top. Hall and Smith onto Riley Bice. He's dangerous here. Lowers the eyes beautifully and he finds the captain, Daly. He'll go back and have a set shot, 25 metres out, slight angle.
Yeah, beautiful play there. And the direct opponent of Luke Daly, Sam Murray, Riley Boss, went straight up to him and let him know that his opponent's got out the back for a relatively a tough shot, 45-degree angle. But beautiful play there. Just want to go back to Hamish Gilmore on the half-back line here. Held out Tom Boyd to be able to come over the top, let Jesse Wilson take a clean contested mark and then be able to get that flow on play and set up this shot at goal.
This is massive for Luke Daly. Did this down at Wangaratta, didn't quite get on the scoreboard. If he can hit the scoreboard, he's done his job as well as if he can keep Sam Murray quiet.
If he kicks one goal, Monty, I reckon
It's
he's
a
done
win,
his job.
absolutely.
Luke Daly for the first score of the day. Right foot kick and he's missed. Missed to the near side for a minor score. A big shout to Paulie's Corner Cafe. They're on the board.
They're happy.
It's a minor score. The Tigers lead one behind to the Rovers. Yet to score. 12 minutes gone for Maccas on O&M Live.
Well, it's taken us a while, Freaky, but we got there. What are the stats showing us why this may be happening?
Yeah, well, Albury's having all the ascendancy in their forward half. They're up to 8 inside 50s to 1 in the start of this game. It's been all their forward half. George Hall and Smith and Anthony Miles are the two that are getting going. 6 disposals for Hall and Smith and 5 for Anthony Miles to start this game.
And that's, of course, thanks to 40 Winks. The stats there from Freaky, as we see now. Chamberlain handballs towards Murray, but he misses him. That handball receives. He's the top in the competition, Sam Murray. Gives a handball back to Chamberlain. And we see Daly, the 213's going at it, and Sam Murray's got carried away here. And Luke Daly's going to have another shot on goal inside 50. So not smart from your captain and your coach here. You can't get carried away, Sam. But Luke Daly will get the free kick inside 50. And it'll be interesting to see whether he'll back himself. He's been called to play on. Goes short to Powell. Puts him about 20 metres around to bit of a better angle, and Powell will have a shot from about 45 out.
We were talking about pre-game, the game we watched earlier in the Gussie, I think you were there as well, that Luke Daly and Sam Murray had this same matchup, and there was a period in the third quarter where these two just wrestled, and it looks like it's going to be a similar role today, and it really got Sam off his game probably a little bit that day, and they're getting to him nice and early today, so we'll see what effect it can have on Sam. He's already had the 5 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet, but we'll see if he can really nullify his influence.
Elliot Powell now on the move, goes inside 50, gets it on the boot, sends it on away. I think he's got enough. Elliot Powell, first goal of the day to the Albury Tigers. Elliot Powell strikes the first blow. Takes Albury to 1-1-7 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe. Wangaratta Rovers yet to score, and we've gone 13 minutes on the Maccas time clock.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, as we touched on, George Hall and Smith's up to 6 disposals. Anthony Miles up to the 5 as well. Really, probably needed that goal there. Albury, as we touched on, had 8 inside 50s to 1, had all the ascendancy, and probably just needed to get a little bit of that ascendancy on the scoreboard now.
Sky Burgess for Waters. Couple of rotations starting to make their way off the ground.
Yeah, they are. They're coming through now. They actually didn't start rotating till about the 10-minute mark, so that kind of tells you what kind of game it is. But they've all both gone through full rotations now.
Back in the guts, Muller on the tap, but the Rovers had the numbers shut. Handball was intercepted. Hall and Smith links up with Miles. Got the kick away in the nick of time, but it wasn't Miles his best. Here's a go for the Rovers. That was well done by Henderson. Inside forward 50 goes Lewis. His kick wasn't great. Chopped out by Jesse Wilson in the back pocket for the Albury Tigers. He's going to want to switch. It looks like he's got Michael Duncan out on the outer side. Netball caught flank. And he goes a low chiseler. And Albury are going to play methodically here, Monty. They sort of bombed the ball long down the line on many occasions. Now they're playing methodically. At centre-half back, the ball's with Isaac Muller.
As he comes back through the middle of the ground, goes long, but read this really well. He's dropped it off for the Wangaratta Rovers. Going to send them back into attack here. They need to get a bit of ascendancy here, the Rovers, get some momentum back. As Shuts kicks a beautiful one out in front of the big Ibis. Toby Murray takes a mark, 70 from goal. He's got an option, it's Christie. He's got no one near him. Christie just had to hit him. Oh, half volley. Good pick up from the big man. Will Christie wants to do a bit of sidestepping, but Jesse Wilson did well. The kick put it off there. So Jesse Wilson, well done. Great mark, Lucas Conlon.
I know we're not taking their numbers, Freaky, but we haven't seen Boyd or Marklew anywhere near the Sharon in the first quarter.
Yeah, well, they've only had the 3 inside 50s to start this game, the Rovers. The ball just hasn't been in their forward half.
So it's Garlett on the outer side. He's taking a bounce for the Tigers. Kicks them inside 50, and Heiner Hennessy, the big hyphen, running back, has taken a very strong mark. He'll go back and have a set shot 35, 40 metres out, slide angle.
It was a great lead. He come up at the footy early and then realised Garlett had a lot of space in front of him, doubled back towards goal, and it was a great kick. Just had to clear one defender, and he was able to take it on the run back on his chest. So great forward craft by Hennessy, but a great finish also by Jeffy Garlett.
The two sides going inside 50, Freaky. Their entries have been chalk and cheese.
Yeah, they have been so far. They've just been able to move the ball a little bit freer at the moment, Aubrey, and just pinpoint the right players.
Heiner Hennessy strikes it nicely and he likes it. The Holbrook Premiership player from 2022 cemented his spot in the Tigers outfit this year. He's kicked his first and the Tigers second. They lead 2-1-13 to the Rovers yet to score on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard.
Jeffy Garlett putting together a really solid year, I think, as well. He's been at Albury a few years, and I think this has easily been his best season. He's up to 23 goals as well this year, but I think it's his ball use when they've actually seemed to play him a little bit further up the ground, I think, at times, and when he's probably one of their better ball users, and he can use the ball well at high pace as well, which is when you want him, and just did deliver a beautiful pass there to Colby Heiner Hennessy.
He's probably been played a bit out of position, thought he was going to be that key forward or small forward like he had been for a lot of years at Carlton, but he hasn't quite got there, but it's good to see him get the footy in his hands now.
And it's such a different game, Ovens and Murray footy to AFL. You don't have a million balls hit the ground in front of the goals. You're going to have to go and get your
not
own
as much
footy
space with different defences, not a whole rolling maul is there like the AFL. This ball now just bumbles around. McCarthy, great handball, gets to McQuaid. It was a great knock there from King on McCarthy. Ball to Byrne, chops it off for Aubrey. Kelly gets the handball received, gives it to Duncan. Duncan goes wider, goes towards Hall and Smith, who's worked really hard to get out and find space. Takes the mark on centre wing, goes inside 50 now, kicks a bit of a wobbler and chopped off by Philo, who finally juggles the mark in front of Powell, and he'll repel that inside 50 from the Albury Tigers. And Brody Philo, how many 40-wing stats for Brody Philo?
He's coming up for his fifth in this first quarter.
A player that's going to have to continue to rise with the Rovers. Want to find a bit more life in this contest. Kelly happy to assist that ball out of bounds for a boundary throw in. True centre wing out of sight as we cross boundary side for Waters to Sky Burgess.
I tell you what, boys, the difference for me, we spoke a lot about defence, but the difference for me today is the forwards. Wang are just getting caught behind the ball. The forwards, they really need to be presenting up, whereas the Albury forwards are definitely, they've got that high pressure and they're locking it in there. So for me, that's the difference at the moment.
13-0 lead, the Albury Tigers over the Rovers. First quarter action thanks to A-grade oils and batteries. We'll toss it up. True centre wing, club room side. Unthank put his head over the footy. Gainer, little toe poke forward's going to work out okay. A 1-2 now with King. Over the top to Hall and Smith, who's racking up the 40 wings disposals. Inside 50 goes Max Byrne to Garlett. Jeez, an absolute sitter dropped. You'd think his name's Johnny Bairstow, the way he put that one down. He's going to have to try and do some crumbing here. Pup Clark's on hands and knees. Stoppage, and we'll ball the footy up inside forward 50 for the Tigers.
Let's go around the grounds quickly for 40 winks. We've got Yarrawonga leading Myrtleford 23-0, North Albury 1-0, and Wangaratta 19 to the Raiders 10.
Gerish happy to clear defensive lines here for the visitors, but Wilson sits under the hole, and he's going to send the ball into attack via Duncan. His kick was ordinary, to put it nicely. King applies some attacking pressure at centre half forward. Too much on it there for Philo. Unthanks just paddled the ball to his own advantage. Kicks on goal, top of the goal square. Power from behind, free kick and a whistle. It's going to go the way of big Paddy Murray, I think, for a high chop there against Elliot Powell.
Chopping the arms there. Powell did well to bring the ball to ground, but just chop the arms. So, as always, Paddy Murray just gives it to his brother Sammy. Sammy's not a great kick. He's hit Hall and Smith, who's dropped the mark. Jackie Gerish first on it for the Rovers. Goes backwards, gives a wide handball now, sweeping handball towards Clark. Clark gets on the move, gives a handball off now to Paddy Murray. Paddy Murray tries to sidestep Powell and he does it well. Just throws on the boot, but it's a bit of a wobbler. Ball Philo brings it to ground. He's going to get a free kick here. I think he might have got a high one from Muller.
Pup Clark looks like he's done something to his back, boys. He went to handball that ball out to Paddy Murray and pulled up straight away, and he's hobbling off the ground now.
So the Murrays link up. The coach got it onto the Ibis, and he kicks trying to find Prime. And it wasn't the best kick from the big Ibis, of a boundary throw in true centre wing broadcast side. We'll get Sky to keep an eye on big Pup Clark. Of course, the trainers are with him right now. Watch this one closely.
I reckon he's going to come off, boys.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He looks bad. Monty, you know a lot about Pup. Has it been his back that's hurt him in months gone by?
It's been his hammies that have been playing up a fair bit for him, so that can also be back related. So, he's definitely in a lot of trouble. He has not got out of a walk, boys, so bad signs for the Rovers.
As Heiner Hennessy kicks poorly long down the line. Sky will cross to you for Waters. Michael Clark is coming from the ground. He looks to be in a lot of discomfort.
Yeah, he did. I was watching it as well. As soon as he got the hands off, he grabbed for his lower back straight away. So he has walked the whole way. We'll keep an eye on him as the trainers speak to him.
As the Rovers now brought in by Jace McQuaid, go down the line towards Murray, spoilt by big Muller. Muller throws on the boot towards the middle of the ground. He's going to find a teammate. I don't know how if he meant that, but I'll tell you what, it works. Bice now gets the handball received. Inside 50 towards Garlett. Garlett's got out the back, but not a great kick. Should have been a little bit better. But I'll tell you what, Isaac Muller will claim that at the end of the day, I reckon.
He certainly will. George Holland-Smith's doing all the damage out there, boys. He's up to 10 disposals on the 40-wing stats. Disposals, and it's 13 inside 50s to 3 in this first quarter, but only a 13-point lead to the Albury Tigers. So with that dominance going forward, they'd really like to get another couple of goals on the scoreboard.
Just noticed Dylan Wilson standing next to George Holland-Smith, so that might be a job for him as he gets another one, putting down for another 40 winks to Reece King. King around the body. It's going to be sent a little bit wide, out of bounds on the full from Reece King, but George Holland-Smith, another clearance and another possession there. And Dylan Wilson, I reckon, might have that job for the rest of the day.
Well, if he hasn't, he's going to have to go to him pretty quickly. 10 disposals and a quarter of footy means you're mapping for a pretty big afternoon. So the Rovers are going to have to try and absorb some of the pressure here as the ball's in the hands of big Paddy Murray. In the back pocket, umpire calls into play and he goes long down the clubroom side of the Albury Sports Ground. Good contest as the FUD marks that, Alex Marklew.
Try to claim it.
He's tried to claim it, but the umpire said, Alex, you took it across the boundary line and we'll bring the footy back into play.
Yeah, as we touched on, 13 inside 50s to 3 in the 40-wing stat sheet to start this game. Sam Murray's up to 7 disposals for Wangaratta Rovers. He leads them. And for the Albury Tigers, as we touched on, George Holland-Smith up to the 11 disposals for the Wangaratta Rovers.
21 minutes gone for Maccas, and Will Christie's got his hands on the footy, goes backwards, finds his way to Murray. The non-preferred, he finds his left now and kicks long down the line to a contest. And Riley Bice chops out. Monty, the intercept marking of the Albury back six has been elite today, and the Rovers can't penetrate past the inside 50.
They've been great. They're going to have to lead up a bit more, the forwards of the Rovers, and give them a bit of a chance because they've just been too good, the Albury back sixes. Murray put him down for another 40 winks. Goes sideways. Hasn't quite hit the target, but he has. Jackie Gerrish, he was the only man who would have taken that. And, geez, he put up sharp too there, so hopefully he hasn't done anything. Limping a little bit, so we'll keep Sky to keep an eye on that one too as Dylan Wilson takes the mark. Nearly right in the middle of the ground. Goes short. This is what they need. Just a bit of control. Cody Shutt now has the footy. Looks down the line. See what he wants. He's going to kick it sideways. He's going to go to Sammy Murray. Murray's taken it about 20 metres sideways. Has not moved forward at all here.
He's actually got, there's Isaac Muller and Riley Bice both playing loose man kick behind the play, so they can't bomb long here because they're going to could turn it over straight away.
Murray kicks it to that man, Riley Bice. Plays on quickly, goes to the middle. Here goes Colby Hennessy. Here he goes on the run. 2 bounces. Inside 50. Oh, Henderson, great chase down from the side. Paddy Murray fumbles. And all of a sudden, he's under a lot of pressure from Jeffy Garlett. And we're going to have a ball up 25 out. I don't know if Colby Hennessy knew what was going on there.
Well, it's really interesting watching the way the Albury Tigers turn defence into attack. Yep. It's like a wave that just rushes behind. They're dropping men behind the footy and then moving forward in numbers. That's why the inside 50s are dominant the way they are. They're inside attacking 50 now as the ball spills to Holland-Smith. Kicks from a standing start. And George Holland-Smith is winding back the clock and showing why he played almost 100 games at the highest level. Holland-Smith's got his first. The Tigers have got 3. And the Tigers, they lead 19-0 thanks to Paulie's Corner Cafe.
Yeah, well, it's that man that's doing all the damage for the Albury Tigers, George Holland-Smith. He's up to 12 disposals now in this first quarter with that first goal there. It's just, as we touched on, it's just those men behind the play, and that's what set up that goal there. Colby Hennessy probably just wasn't a little bit aware of what was going on around him, but it was all right. They ended up getting the ball up in the forward 50, able to score out of it. And they really need this ascendancy. 14 inside 50s to 3 in this first quarter. It's been all Albury's way, so they need, if they want to get this lead and give themselves a good breakaway from the Rovers.
This is where they've been really good, Albury, through the middle of the ground. Muller gets another tap. Straight to Garlett, to Powell. There's been a free kick paid, but now they've paid advantage. Powell's gone on with it. Gets a centre clearance. Goes nearly inside 50 towards Conlon. Conlon drops a chest mark. Normally would have taken that. McQuaid's done well, but Conlon's back on it straight away. Jacob Conlon, that is. Gets a kick into the middle, and Dylan Wilson chops it off. The Rovers needed that one, and he's going to get it moving for the Rovers.
Kicks down the broadcast side wing. The Tigers just have way too many tools. Justin Lewis is going to be the recipient of the free kick here. I don't think Maxie Burns overly thrilled with that one. Umpire calls into play, and in fact it was Hillary. Inside 50 go the Rovers. They need a dangerous opportunity. The Tigers lose some footing and it spills out towards Boyd. Boyd from a standing start. Misses to the right-hand side for a minor score. Geez, they really needed that one, Monty. Their first look inside attacking 50s come at the 25th minute mark, and it's a minor score.
Yeah, they really needed Boyd to put that one through it in. They obviously it was through. Unthank dropping it as the ball comes to the ground again. Unthank made a mistake there. McCarthy gets a handball back to Amory. Amory gives a handball but gives it straight up to Gaynor. Aubrey on the attack again. Inside 50. They go again. Garlett's taking a mark. all by himself. Now kicks it over the top to Benny Kelly, who charged forward. And what about going from a defence to attack there? One end of the ground and the other in 4 possessions. That's the Albury we love to see. Freaky.
Yeah, absolutely. They can move the ball so quickly from end to end, and they can be really damaging. If we just go around the grounds at quarter time, I think it is at North Albury and the North Albury and Lavington game. North Albury lead by 20 points, 25-5 in that match.
As Benny Kelly now has a shot from about 30 out. He's on the roll. Don't like him moving that ball around in his hands, boys, but he's all steady now. Gets the stutter step going. Big Benny Kelly misses. They needed that one, Albury. Takes them to 3-2-20. One behind the Wangaratta Rovers on the Paulie Corner Cafe. 26 minutes gone on the Macca's time clock.
Such a dominant display in this first quarter for Albury, Monty and Freaky. They really should be at least 30 to perhaps 35 points in front. And they're just not capitalising in front of goal.
Well, plus 11 in the inside 50s, 15-4 in this first quarter. Well, Wang's only had really the one shot. They've only had one forward 50 that's gone past 25 metres, really, if you think about the game. That was the last entry they had when Boyd had that shot at goal. So, and Albury's had all the play, and as it's quarter time here, I think quarter time's come at the right time for the Rovers. I don't know if you boys think sometimes just a little bit fumbly out there. They just need to compose themselves, and they're definitely not out of this game by any stretch of the imagination. But if they don't turn things around quickly, it's going to get out of hand pretty quickly.
Sky Burgess for Waters.
Yeah, I thought you might want a bit of an injury update. There's a bit going on down at the bench. Wang have had a couple of boys seeing the trainer. So after that, Murray put Garish under a bit of pressure and he has come off and grabbed at his ankle. So they're taping it up now. Pup Clark also got a rub on the back and they were testing his kind of leg mobility, etc. And he was still looking in a world of pain. And also coming off for Albury was... Correct me if I'm saying this. Is it Unthunk? Unthunk. I want to make sure I'm saying it right. He came off in grimacing in pain, grabbing at his elbow straight away as well. So he's just seeing the trainer now. I'll keep an eye on that one.
Sky Burgess for Waters. I tell you what, Doc Larkin giving her
a
run for his money. We'll take a break. It's the Albury Tigers leading 3-2-20 to the Rovers, just one behind on O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? one for sport, and one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Max O&M Live. Quarter time, the Tigers hold a 20-point lead over the Rovers. And in the first quarter, can I get your thoughts? Brad Freak on who the Optus quarter's best was for your local Optus stores in Albury, Wodonga and Wangaratta.
Well, there's only one man that I thought you could be the Optus quarter's best for that first quarter, and had to be George Holland-Smith. He was simply everywhere. He had the 12 disposals, kicked a goal late there in that quarter as well. I think that he was influential in everything. I think everything he touched turned to gold for Aubrey in that first quarter. He was simply everywhere for him. And if we have a look at the 40 Wink stats sheet, we start with the team stats because that's the glaring difference in the game is inside 50s, plus 11 in favour of the Albury Tigers, 15-4. Just had more of the forward half ball, and were able to, late in that quarter, be able to get it onto the scoreboard. They probably hope that think that they could be a little bit further ahead, but if it's the game trend continues, then they can keep getting away in that lead. If we have a look at the disposal getters, as we touched on, Hall and Smith had 12, 7 each for Riley Bice and Anthony Miles for the Albury Tigers. And for the Wangaratta Rovers, Sam Murray had the 10 disposals, 6 to Lockie McCartney and 5 to Brody Philo as well.
Sky Burgess for Waters. What do the coaches have to say at the first break?
I did head over to the Wangaratta Rovers huddle. It was interesting to see what they had to say after the quarter. I went to the forward huddle and had a little bit of a listen. They spoke on some stuff we'd obviously already touched on, just wanting their forwards to lead harder. And also when Aubrey have got that spare to pull someone back to make it at least a 2-on-2 contest. Sammy Murray obviously then spoke to the boys and wanted the forwards to play a little bit higher. Spoke a lot about winning the ball and spread, but when they spread, just to be aware of when Aubrey get that turnover ball, we saw how effective that can be. And he just wants the on ball to lift.
Super stuff from Sky, and here's some more super work for Wangaratta Motor Group. Scott Montgomery in the second term.
I just see the two big boys go at it again. Cody Shutt's been great in the middle today for the Rovers, but gives it up straight to Powell. Powell to O'Brien, back to Powell. On the move now, Elliot Powell. Kicks it sideways to find a teammate in Jake Page. Takes a mark on true centre wing. Goes short towards Isaac Muller, who's worked really hard, trying to work Christie over here, the Aubrey boys. Gets a handball over the top towards Hall and Smith. Hall and Smith, another 40 wings. Goes inside 50 with a little up and under. Luke Daly comes back hard on Murray, but Sam Murray, too good. Another intercept mark, put him down for there, Freaky, as he'll try and repel this inside 50.
So he's got in front of the netball courts. Umpire has called Sam to play on. He kicks long down the line, trying to find a target. That was Marklew. He made a contest, got it on the second bite. Went for an underground handball, and the umpire's going to pin him for incorrect disposal. Holding the footy's going to go the way of the Albury Tigers. And Jesse Wilson, the recipient of the free kick, true centre wing, clubhouse side of the Albury Sports Ground, propels the Tigers into attack with a mongrel punt up to half forward. Murray, this is Sam. He intercepts nicely. Now he's got Alex Marklew behind true centre wing.
As he moves on now, kicks it down the line towards his assistant coach in Tommy Boyd. Boyd takes the mark on the half forward flank, the far side. Gets moving pretty quickly, rolls around, kicks it inside 50 towards the Ibis, and the Ibis! Great grab. Really strong mark in the lead there. Not much Lucas Conlon could do, and what a kick from Tom Boyd.
It was just really a smart lead, as you touched on there, Mon. Lucas Conlon thought that Ibis Murray was leading towards the boundary, then just cut behind him and led straight back up towards Tom Boyd there. It's what Sky said that Sam Murray touched on at quarter time to lead up at the footy, and Ibis has done it straight away.
And we called for it in the first quarter, Monty. The key tools have to get up the ground and provide an option, because the kick getting to this stage of the forward 50 was just breaking down. This is the first deep entry they've had for the whole
too
game.
much leading sideways, which just allows those drop-off defenders to do what they want, really, and makes it hard for the kicker as well. As the big Ibis now moves inside 50, kicks it from 47, sends it on its way. Doesn't look good. He's not happy with the boot. Goes through for a minor score, which takes the Rovers to 2 behinds. Albury Tigers 3-2, gives them a 3-goal lead. We've gone 2 minutes on the Macca's time clock, and of course that scoreboard is thanks to CMV Truck and Bus.
So in the back line, the Albury Tigers, Hodgson, little 1-2 with Duncan. He's going to go out the outer side here for the Albury Tigers. The kick hugs the boundary line, and Hamish Gilmore, he drags it back into play. Bice out of the back line, kicks long down the outer side wing, I should say. Sam Murray just chases this one back for the Rovers. Pushes off Daly with a Dusty Martin style, don't argue. But it's turned over to Bice, so he puts the Tigers into attack. Kick it a bit too much on it for Garlett. He regathered, sold a bit of candy. Kick wasn't great. A high up and under 50 from home. Falls the way now of Reece King, lowers the eyes, and George Holland-Smith, the man of the moment, marks the footy 30 metres out slide angle.
Two things there. Jeffy Garlett's kick wasn't great, but he waited until McNamara took the ball so he could tackle him straight away. And Reece King just ripped it out of there. Most players would have been happy with the ball up, but he ripped it out and was able to get rolling and give it to this man who's going to line up again.
So George Holland-Smith really starting to put some good footy together for the Tigers, of course. Only on game number 6. In yellow and black to the Botanic Gardens end. George Holland-Smith strikes it beautifully. He's got 2. The Tigers have got 4. And that's all thanks to CMV Truck and Bus.
Holland-Smith, I don't know if you boys saw that. He kicked it, and he was that confident he was going through. He kicked it, and it's like when you hit a pure cover drive, and he just turned away and started walking off. He knew it was going through.
How many pure cover drives have you hit, Freaky?
None.
Yeah, I'm the same, mate. Don't worry. I was about to say, what's that feel like?
Yeah.
Sky Burgess, boundary side for Waters.
I tell you what, boys, Albury are just really getting on top now. I've got to say, we spoke a lot about the ruck contest. I really think Izzy's on top of this one. What do you boys reckon?
Yeah, he's killing it, really.
Yep.
Christie needs to stand up here, or they might need to throw the big Ibis in there. I think, Sky, I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
No influence on the game yet, Christie, at all. So I think you're spot on there, Sky.
Big is he again. There he is. What a tap. Powell roves it beautifully. Kicks it inside 50 towards Daly. Luke Daly's got on the lead again. And Sam Murray was a long way off him there. He's going to have to pay a little bit more close checking if the midfield is going to cut him apart like that there between Muller and Powell.
Has he got the distance from him on?
Nope.
No.
As he goes short straight away and finds Conlon. Good
Commentators
call.
curse Freaky.
Yeah.
Freaky did well there, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon you're spot on, but I reckon this man might have the distance.
I reckon he does. I think he's looking probably straight into the sun there, though, but it'd be good to get himself into the game. Probably has been a little bit quiet in that first quarter, Jacob Conlon, so it'd be a good confidence boost if he can nail this, because it'd be a great goal.
You're kicking from about 45 metres as he's on the move now. Gets the strut up, kicks it on its way. He's pretty happy. He's very happy. Jacob Conlon, if you don't mind, from the pocket. Mawson's concrete player of the day, straight through the middle. Another one on the board for the Albury Tigers, and they are rolling now in the second quarter, 5-2, 32 to 1 behind on the CMV Truck and Bus, and we've gone 5 minutes on the Macca's time clock.
Well, even in this second quarter, it's 3 inside 50s to 1, so that takes it plus 13 for the game, and now they're starting to get that little bit of that scoreboard dominance that they really should have got in that first quarter as well. Now, obviously out with a 31-point lead, the Albury Tigers.
Will Christie's come to the bench. We'll get you to keep an eye on that one, Sky. Hopefully nothing wrong with him. He's getting a chop. We've put Ibis into the ruck, have the Rovers. But the ball falls the way now of Jake Gaynor. He kicks up to half forward. Good contest made there by McNamara. Murray at centre half back. Tries to slingshot the Rovers into attack, and he's found his brother. 1-2. Bust through the pack to Sam Murray. Kicks inside 50. Does it have the legs? Bouncing. And just missing to the left-hand side for a minor score. I don't mind that, Monty, when you're down by that much in the contest to try and roll the dice, but you've got to make it count when you go inside 50.
Yeah, absolutely. The reason why I said, oh no, was I saw that little Jake Gaynor was cutting across there, and I don't think a big Ibis saw him, so Big Sammy's big Fenbuck got rid of him as the ball comes out wide. It's going to have another ball. I'll tell you what, we're still on world record pace here, boys.
I was just going to say, that fend-off, I was at the Holbrook Osborne game last week. I saw the biggest don't argue I've ever seen. I think it was Lockie down.
Was it AB McKinley?
He's a big boy too.
It was almost like a Triple H choke slam, and then the umpire paid it too high. He kicked the goal and everything. It was outstanding play, but yeah, what could have been?
Muller gets the tap again towards Gaino, pops it out on the full. So we'll get the Rovers on true centre wing, I think through Shag and Nolan. will get the ball moving again as none of the Albury crowd try to get the ball back for him. And Shaganolan will get it moving again for the Rovers.
So he's at true centre wing, and he'll be getting a bit of feedback from the balcony here at the Albury Sports Ground. And Nolan's going to kick the Rovers into attack. Narrow, shallow entry. Marklew flew. Crumbs there by Gilmore, whose kick was poor, out of bounds on the full. That's what our boundary umpire has said, and this is a really important bit of play here for the Rovers. They've gotten a chance to build an attacking play.
Got Muller, big Isaac Muller, just dropped back in that hole there. And Lucas Conlon as well as another spare. We've seen it a couple of times today. If they just try and bomb this long, which they're not, they turn the ball over pretty quickly.
That's a dangerous kick in board. Luke Daly, well done. Got a little fingertip on that one. And we'll ball the footy up on the edge of the centre square. Freaky, it's a really good observation. Aubrey every time are putting +2 behind the footy.
Yeah, just trying to really nullify the leading lanes for Boyd and Markley because they're so damaging. But yeah, Rovers need to think of a different way
Quick
to
kick from McCarthy from the clearance there. Goes deep. Boyd overruns it. Ball on the ground now. Hillary gets a little toe poke on it. Conlon back on it very quickly, and he's going to drag it in. Is he going to be pinged? No. Yes, he is. Jason Rain. I thought he was going to ball that one up, but said, no, you drag that one in, Lucas. And we're going to have little Dylan Wilson have a shot on goal from about 25 out. Normally a beautiful kick.
He's going to go this banana here, Freaky, I reckon.
Yeah, going to go around the corner, and geez, the Rovers need this one. Geez, the Rovers need this one just to get some sort of momentum back into the game.
Wilson gets on the move now and has missed. Geez, from that far out, he's a beautiful kick of the football. I don't understand this kick around the corner from there. He's nearly straight in front. Slight angle, but yeah, 25 out. Should have kicked that one. Not good enough there from Dylan Wilson.
Lucas Conlon, kick-in duties from fullback, inboard. The Ibis flew across the pack. Bit stiff not to win the mark there. Spills to ground level inside the centre square. And the umpire's going to call for a ball up around the grounds thanks to our good friends at 40 Winks.
Yeah, North Albury getting the job done at the moment over the Lavington Panthers. 34-5, 11 minutes gone in the second quarter of that match.
And he'll be up and about.
He'll be very happy. There won't be, or there is no roof on the scaffold for Panda to blow up, but he'll be a very happy man. Here at the Albury Sports Ground, the Tigers 5-2-32, the Rovers 0-3-3 on the C&V truck and bus. We played 9 minutes, Macca's time clock, second quarter action. Bit of a scruffle inside the centre square as Miles feeds the ball back to Max Byrne. His right foot kick down the true centre wing position is a good one to Elliot Powell. And Powell is going to be
50.
called to play on 50-metre penalty. Freaky, talk us through that one.
Did you see it?
Yeah. Did you see that one, Sky, down there?
I did. They kind of ran as he marked, and the Wangaratta's man's tried to look at the umpire and ask where the mark is and was kind of walking around trying to find the mark as the Albury players played on. And so I don't know if the umpire must have just been watching the Albury player. And, yeah, he didn't really set the mark properly, in my opinion.
It was Elijah Amory, Monty.
Yeah, it was Elijah,
A bit stiff there. Anyway, this puts Elliot Powell in striking distance. He'll kick this 48 metres. The little man from Mount Beauty kicks on the way. It's across the face for a minor score. Had to give that one a bit much. The Tigers moved to 5-3-33. The Rovers 3 behinds on the C&V truck and bus scoreboard. And Freaky, we're going to go around the grounds.
Yeah, just in the other games at the Ovens and Murray at the moment, Yarrawonga too strong for Myrtleford 51-6, and Wangaratta getting the job done against the Wodonga Raiders 40-17.
As we all expected that one there, didn't we? As the ball gets kicked long by Murray, but it's straight to Muller. Muller takes a great grab back and back, gives a quick handball now, gets it back inside 50. And here we go. Murray flies high but drops the mark. Falls down to Amory. No, it was McQuaid, sorry. Kicks it long, gets it to the centre square. Free kick surely to Tom Boyd. It's been absolutely manhandled and the ball, umpire says play on. Ball gets out to McCartney all by himself inside 50. Lockie McCartney chips it over the top. Unselfish to Elmer Fudd. And Marklew takes the mark, 15 out. Unselfish. McCartney did all the work. Probably could have had a shot on goal as Marklew goes back, snaps it around the body, kicks the goal.
He's kicked the ball to the Wodonga. We're going to have to get a new footy. That's out in Oriel Park. Sky, he absolutely launched that.
I know. I was just sitting here thinking McCartney just came straight off the bench then, and that's why he was free and running in on his own. But, well utilised and very unselfish.
Just really needed to get that goal to get some momentum back in the game, didn't they? The Wangaratta Rovers. They've nullified. They're starting to even up the inside 50s in this second term, 5-4. They've had a couple of shots. They've looked at probably their plays probably been a little bit better in this term compared to the first. But the Tigers were able to get the first couple of goals of this quarter, so able to get away. Elliot Powell's won in this second term on the 40-wing stat sheet. He's up to 4 disposals. Sam Murray's also up to 6 disposals already for the Wangaratta Rovers.
It's taken 41 minutes of football for the Rovers to register their first goal. It's come at the 11.5-minute mark of the second term. 24-point lead to the Tigers, and Philo Wins a clearance now for the Rovers to centre half forward. Elmer Fudd brought it to ground level. Well done by Lewis. Busted through the pack. Inside 50 goes Amory. Boyd, he was handled, but it didn't matter because Wilson ran and kicked the goal. He's put another ball into Wodonga, and it's back-to-back goals for the Rovers. 2 goals in a minute, Freaky. Now they're starting to play some good footy.
Yeah, just a little bit of space. They were able to get some quick ball movement there, get the ball into their forward half really quickly and not allow Albury to set their defences. We've seen a number of times today get those numbers behind the ball and stop those leading lanes. Boyd finally had a 1-hour marking contest with Hamish Gilmore, and as good little men do, Dylan Wilson's just the right place at the right time to be able to pop up and get that ball and be able to kick a goal there as well. So really good couple of minutes from the Wangaratta Rovers. As we touched on, Albury had all that momentum in the first quarter, weren't able to really get that massive lead that we think they probably could have, but Rovers are just starting to get back into it.
Yeah, I'll just let you know, boys, Will Christie's been off for quite a little bit. He took his shin padding off. He grabbed at his shin straight away. I think he's got a pretty big egg there, so they've taken the padding off and are giving him a little bit of tape around. He's just running around now, trying to get back out there.
Sky Burgess for Waters there. Doesn't miss a thing as the ball in the middle of the ground falls to Powell. Powell on the move again. Gets it inside 50. Kicks it out in front of Daly. Daly takes a really good grab there. One-on-one with Murray. And I reckon he'll try and pass this one off too. Freaky, as you spoke about the last time. Might be the distance that might worry the older legs of Luke Daly here.
Yeah, just got to be wary of the Rovers' defence here. I reckon he's looking to pass.
There it is. Little short one over the top now. And how good is that? Well timed. Great positioning. Jeffy Garlett just too quick on the lead and a great kick from Luke Daly.
I think everybody knew what he was trying to do there. Just had to be a little bit more aware, the Rovers defenders, to try and fill up some leading lanes. But smart play by Jeffy Garlett to fill that hole, and this is right in his
Garlett
wheelhouse.
around the corner now on the boot, if you don't mind. Little bit narrow. Through for a behind. Takes the Albury Tigers to 5-4-34. Wang Rovers 2-3-15.
That's been the one knock on Garlett's game this year. He's probably set shot ability, Freaky. So many times we see him go, oh, he'll kick this one, and he lets you down.
Yeah, he's probably just a little bit too lackadaisical there, but you know he's got it in his kit bag. You know he can pull it out when he wants, but yeah, he's probably just that set shot gulking, which is letting him down at times.
Another 40 winks disposal from Sam Murray at full-back. Freaky, what's his total for 40 winks?
He's up to 17 today, Sam Murray.
The Rovers come back inboard. It's a nice kick to McNamara across the half-back flank for the Rovers. Umpire calls him to play on. In fact, he ignores the give to Sam Murray to kick long down the line, trying to find Marklew. Contest forms and it goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. True centre wing out of side. 14 minutes gone on the Macca's time clock, and the Tigers, they lead 5-4-34 to the Rovers 2-4-16. For the Old Town and Country Tavern, here's Scott Montgomery on O&M Live.
Second quarter action thanks to Wangaratta Motor Group. Tossed in on the far side there. One down by Murray. Falls to McCartney. McCartney shrugs a tackle. Well done. Kicks it now down the line towards Marklew. Marklew gets it on the bounce. Gives a handball, but the boundary line wins the race. And boys, Will Unthank just went to ground again there, so we have to get Sky to keep an eye on him. He might be a little bit sore out there, I think.
And I reckon that part of the ground might be a little bit extra slippery, of course. It does slope down there from the outer line there, Mont.
Yes, it does. As Jake Page now picks up the half volley, gets dispossessed of it pretty quickly. Ball just fumbles around on the ground. Falls away with Duncan. Quick hands to Jake Page to Hodgson. Hodgson's handball no good towards Duncan. Goes Amory. Just kicks it off the ground. Can't pick it up, but Boyd was clean. Gives a quick handball to Amory. Amory around the corner. If you don't mind. Here come the Rovers. Kick 3. Steal on goal today to Elijah Amory. Great work by Tom Boyd in the lead up. And that's one that the Rovers definitely needed. Another one gets them to 3-4-22 to 5-4-34 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard.
Just saw that little bit of a turnover there from Albury. Just that extra bit of pressure that the Rovers brought across their half forward line, able to turn the ball over there from Bryden Hutchison and then just keep getting the ball forward. Elijah Amory was the one got it forward, and nice little handball out from Tom Boyd out to Amory again to be able to nice little dribble kick into the game. And it's only a 12-point lead now for the Albury Tigers. They were well and truly on top of this game, but the Rovers are right back into it now.
3 consecutive goals to the visitors, and I reckon it's all stemmed from the Ibis Murray going into the ruck, giving their midfielders some first use. He's been taken in a contest here, and we'll ball the footy up. We've played 16 minutes on the Macca's time clock. We've had 5 goals in this second term. Murray with a tap. McCarthy's kick was smothered off the boot. Falls out the back of the pack here. They have numbers, the Rovers, and they kick it with prime train up towards centre half forward. Hodgson chasing this ball back. Good courage and good speed. Got to the contest first. Little tick kick away was okay. Here's McCarthy. Head over the footy, but overran it. Pinballs around at ground level as Lewis tries to shovel one through. Falls out the back of the pack here. Hodgson with some good use of the body. The Tigers have numbers. McCartney just dives on the footy. He's going to be in trouble here. Free kick on the footy. Umpire Jason Rain doesn't miss those. And Ben Kelly, the recipient for the Tigers.
Kelly moves it on quickly now to Duncan. Duncan takes the mark about 80 away from the Rovers' goal. Wants to go back inboard, goes short towards Page. Just trying to take a bit of momentum out of this game here, the Albury Tigers, which I like.
They got the two Murray brothers, just to kick behind the play. Sam and Toby Murray long down the line, so they could turn this over quickly if they go long.
This big Muller just come back on the ground and tries to man up Murray, and it wasn't a great kick from Jake Page. They needed a bit more distance, and the big Ibis takes the intercept mark. And Sammy's trying to get the cheap little handball here, but doesn't want to give it to him, the brother. So he goes back to Philo, who's probably the second best kick in the team behind Sammy. And Brody Philo had the kick on just backward of centre wing.
So it's a 12-point lead to the Tigers. The Rovers starting to build some momentum. Brody, beautiful kick to the prime train. He's marked 75 from home. Markley wants the lead. He ignores that. Waits for the right option, the prime. He's going to go with a high up and under into the hot spot. A big contest will form. Christie brings it to ground level. Hodgson crumbs to the Tigers. Backwards to Muller now onto Byrne. 1-2. Hodgson's tied up now. Page for the Albury Tigers. Going to go with a left foot kick. Long down the line. Murray in a 2-on-1. And well done by Cole behind Hennessy. Got a fist in that one. Will ball the footy back into play. True centre wing broadcast side.
Probably missed a trick going forward then the Rovers. Alex Marklew got a really good shepherd off Tom Boyd to give him some space. Just missed him going forward and just bombed it long back onto Boyd's head. It was a 2-on-1 after that, the block.
Ball comes in now. Probably could have got a free kick there, the Ibis, as he wins the contest. Gives a handball to Wilson. Dylan Wilson, that is. Kicks it inside 50 of a beautiful kick. He's going to get out the back butt. And well read there from Hamish Gilmore. He's been really good today, I reckon, Gilmore. He's done a good job so far on Boyd. Goes sideways towards Conlon. Conlon plays on quickly. Goes long towards Bice, but Fudd gets in front of it. That's Marklew. Chops it off, but the ball comes to the ground and Albury's first there. Ball just ping balls around on the ground and the prime train gets a handball over top. It's chopped off quickly by Wilson. Ball fumbling around still. Cody Shutt, super clean. Gives a handball to the train, gets dispossessed. Amory now gets it on the boot inside 50. Towards Marklew, and he's going to get a free kick. Silly there from Jake Gaynor. Did not even look at the footy, and it'll be a front-on contact kick.
Oh, it's on here.
Alex Marklew, as Wilson and Amory get into it inside 50.
Yeah, he got a clip just Amory before, and then I can't remember who it was from the Albury Tigers, and as Markley was getting that free kick, run past, and I think it was O'Brien. He knocked over to the ground, and Jesse Wilson didn't like it and started a little kerfuffle there. But there's a big momentum in the game here right now for the Wangaratta Rovers.
As the Fudd, he loves these moments, kicks it from further out a lot better than closer in. And Alex Marklew now on the boot, likes it off the boot if you don't mind. Goalpost high, steal on goal today, Alex Marklew. The Rovers are right back in this here. That's his second for Alma Fudd.
Yeah, really got all the momentum in this quarter now. The Rovers up to 9 inside 50s to 5 in this second term, where Albury in the first quarter had all the momentum. I think Dylan Wilson's one that's really been a spark for him across half forward. His forward pressures caused a few turnovers. He kicked a goal himself. I think he's been really good in this game. And as I think you touched on before, Mon, I think Toby Murray going into the ruck's been a big catalyst for this for the Rovers.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. I think it was you, but I'll claim it. I'll take it.
Normally it is Monty providing the genie's thoughts, so I can see how that's happened. Back in the centre, Ibis wins another tap, but Power puts his head over the footy. Philo overran the contest, spills out now to Jake Gaynor, who catapults the Tigers into attack. Shagger Nolan got it on the half volley as Reece King enters the contest, finds a bit of space on the left foot. He's not known for his booming boot, and that one fell about 10 metres short. Sam Murray chops out at full back here for the Rovers. He's going to kick long down the line. Dangerous looking kick. Ibis makes a contest, comes to ground level. Boundary line's what the Rovers are going to want to get. And with a boundary throw in front of the Terry Cross can bar. 34 plays 28. The Tigers lead the Rovers on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. The Rovers have kicked the last 4 goals, Monty.
Yep, they've been fantastic to finish this quarter off here, the Rovers. They probably want one more before half-time and get it back on an even keel. As Gaynor gets the clearance, gets towards Byrne, but he's putting under the pump with the missed handball. Well done there from Lewis. Lewis gets it on the boot there, the former Cora Rutherglen player. Gets a nice little torpedo in front of Boyd. Gilmore gets the job on him and gets him to kick it straight up in the air. All Albury players, but late on the scene's the train. Prime Train brings it to ground. And he's the first one to be on the ground and tackled by 3 or 4 players. And the umpire's going to ball this one up. 55 away from the Albury goals. And we go boundary side for what is Sky Burgess.
I tell you what, it's really lifted now, hasn't it? There's something about Wang Rovers that they make it look messy, but they seem to get the job done. Like you said, one more goal, I think, and make the most of this momentum in the last 5 minutes.
Muller takes it out of the ruck. Amory dispossesses him, gets on the boot, but Jesse Wilson reads it well. Marklew brings it to ground. Hodgson first there, gets a handball back towards Conlon. Conlon very sharp and very poised back there. Gets it across to Jake Page in the back pocket. And Albury will just try and take a bit of sting out of this game for a couple of minutes.
If we go around the grounds in the other games in the Ovens and Murray at the moment, North Albury 40 lead, Lavington 9, which is 9 behinds as well in that game.
9 behinds.
9 behinds, so a 31-point lead there. In the other games, Yarrawonga 69 to Myrtleford 13, and Wangaratta Magpies 52 lead the Raiders 17.
No one's cheering more for North Albury than Wodonga Bulldogs Football Club.
Absolutely.
This afternoon. If Lavington lose, it is curtains on their season, you would have to think. And the Rovers, well, they've got a lot to play for today in this contest against the Tigers. A top 3 spot. They'd go perhaps a game clear, if not match the Wangaratta Magpies, their crosstown rivals, inside the top 3 should they secure a victory this afternoon. They currently trail by 6 points and will ball the footy up as we go boundary side to Sky Burgess for Waters.
You're throwing back down to me now. Sorry, I didn't want to finish what I was saying before I let Scotty go.
You're all right, Sky. We'll get back to you shortly and get an update on Michael Clark. We haven't seen him re-enter the game. I've got a feeling his day might be done, Sky.
Yeah, look, I haven't seen him in a little while either, so I will go have a wander and see if I can find him.
Of course, he has had hamstring and back-related issues, Monty, so hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, hopefully. He's one of the nice guys at the O&M, so hopefully he can get back this year as Muller gets it out of the ruck again and just throws it on the boot. And Patrick Murray takes the mark. The third of the Murray brothers goes short to McNamara, who takes the mark. About 75 out, goes short. Now to Philo. Philo, he's got a booming kick. Gets it inside 50 to the fat side. Lots of space, but Jesse Wilson reads it best. This goes with a double fister. And him and Lewis on a foot race. Lewis did well with the body. Gets it to Williamson. Williamson gets a quick handball. Lewis back inside 50 for the Rovers. Not a great kick, and it's going to go straight in the lap of George Holland-Smith, who's been a lot quieter this quarter, Freaky.
Yeah, he's coming up for his 3rd disposal of this quarter, so they've had to put an F bit of time into him, having the 12 in the first quarter and totally dominant. So they really nullified his influence in the game so far in this second term.
23 minutes gone for Macca's 6-point ball game. The Tigers lead the Rovers and O&M Live. Great to have your company for Wangaratta Motor Group. Ball's in the hands of Gilmore. Across right half back for the Albury Tigers in front of the pass players tent, which looks pretty chock-a-block today, boys. As the kick goes long down the line, Muller happy to assert that one across the boundary line. Will bring the footy back into play. Brad Freak, what's happening on the 40-wing stat sheet?
Yeah, Sam Murray up to 8 disposals in the second quarter. 5 disposals for Elliot Powell and Bryden Hodgson, but it's inside 50s as well. 6 inside 50s for Albury to 12 for the Wangaratta Rovers. They've really got that momentum going their way and been able to kick some goals in this second quarter and get themselves right back into the game.
No, they've been fantastic this quarter, the Rovers. It's what we love to see. Miles now gets the handball back towards Hodgson. Hodgson just throws on the boot under the pump. High, nice and high. Kelly's got to assert some dominance and just gets a fist on that one. Engage Sam Murray, which is what they're trying to do every time he's around the ball at the moment. It's trying to engage him, not let him have an easy inset mark. And Kelly did it well there and gets the boundary throw about 65 away from their goal.
One person the Rovers would like to get in the game is Jack Gerris. He's only had the 4 disposals today and hasn't had a touch in the second quarter yet, so they really need his leg speed in the game.
Boundary throw in. Comes back, shut, left foot kick down the line, trying to find Wilson. Gathers it on the half volley and takes it out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Freaky, it is half time at Bunton Park, and you were telling me before that North Albury have kicked Lavington have kicked 9 behinds.
Yeah, 9 behinds. Their woes in front of goals have continued, and it hasn't stopped today. Probably one of their most important games of the year. It's abandoned their straight kicking.
McCartney kicks the Rovers up to centre half forward. Inside attack it goes now. Falls the way of Marklew. He left it for Lewis. Puts the burners on. Puts it on the left and prime train. Mark's on the goal line. He's going to try and improve the angle here, but the umpire says, hang on, mate, you're not coming around that far.
I reckon he's stiff just quiet. I reckon he took it about 5 metres around when he actually took the mark. I reckon he's very stiff.
I reckon he's definitely another couple of metres away from the mark. He might. Yeah, very stiff, Mont.
Fresh in from Ibiza, he makes no mistake. Prime train lets a few of the Tigers boys know about it, and all of a sudden, scores are level. 5-4 apiece on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard.
The difference in the game is the Rovers have just started to be able to get a bit of pace in the ball and be able to move the ball quickly. And I think in that first quarter at times they're a little bit stagnant, but the Albury really dominated the play as well. But when they did have the footy, they didn't go quickly. And when they didn't go quickly, it allowed Albury to defend behind the ball and let them set up their defence. Where you think about it, especially the last 15 minutes of play, just the pace on the ball that the Rovers have had. They've been able to move it quicker, get a lot more one-on-ones, and give their forwards a better hope going forward.
You know, one man I've liked this quarter, Justin Lewis.
Yes.
Hasn't done a heap, but what he's done has been good. He's put the body on the line. He's chased. He hasn't let them get out when they've needed to, the back six of Albury, and he's been absolutely fantastic. And again, that was him that kicked that one there. So the goal assist to him, I reckon he's been absolutely fantastic this quarter.
He's got a lot of mongrel about him,
love him.
Monty.
I love
He's
him.
happy to do the dirty work. And but tell you right now, he's a player who'd want having your jumper on, not the opposition, because he'll get under your skin. 26 minutes gone, Monty, the scores are level.
I love this. How good's the Rovers been in this second quarter? Tap one by Muller, but straight down to the Rovers. Ball won by Shutt, gives a quick handball to Garish. Garish gets it on the boot quickly inside 50. Ball gets out the back towards Duncan, but Wilson's put him under the pump. Doesn't quite get there, Duncan. Bounce, prime train on the boot, if you don't mind! Steel line goal of the day! Prime train from the scoreboard! Wowee! What a goal!
Wow.
If that doesn't show you can do 6 weeks partying in Ibiza and come back and play Ovens and Murray footy, I don't know what can. Well called by Scott Montgomery for the Old Town and Country Tavern. Freaky, that's a contender for Steel Line Goal of the Year.
Oh, that was simply outstanding. He was in the front row of the scoreboard, wasn't he? And just a beautiful right foot snap. It was, outstanding. Full momentum with the Wangaratta Rovers. He even gave a kid a high five over the fence as well. So he's.
I reckon he was high-fiving as he was kicking it, wasn't he, Freaky? He was that deep.
He was.
Tell you what, the Rovers, they have kicked 6 consecutive goals to hit the lead here at the Albury Sports Ground. 27 minutes gone. The Tigers are going to have to find a goal before the main break, but it's not going to come with ball movement like that. Out the back, Amory trying to find Noel, and his handball was poor. Inside 50 goes Gaynor. Top of the goal square. Good mark. Murray. Big moment in the game, and Sam Murray takes a really strong intercept mark on the last line of defence.
That's what you want from your leaders. You want them to stand up, and Sam Murray did it right there. Finds a target in Shag and Nolan. Shag is just going to take a bit of time out here. 28 minutes gone on the Macca's time clock. Not long to go in this second quarter, and the Rovers have been red hot. Ball down the line. Muller brings it to ground. Ball fumbled around. Miles has it now. Gives a quick handball. Chucked on the boot quickly by Albury through Hillary. Ball gets brought to ground by Murray. Garish gets onto it quickly, gets on the move, comes through the middle, finds Henderson. Henderson now in the centre of the ground, wants to go short again. He doesn't, finds Amory. Amory's got players open inside 50. That should be 50. Yep. Michael Duncan, silly. Very silly 50-metre penalty here, and the wheels are really starting to fall off here, Albury. They haven't been able to get their hands on it much in this second quarter, and then a 50-metre penalty like that, if it results in a goal, you don't want that from your leaders.
It's just the pace they've been able to get on the game, Mon. I think this second quarter they've been able to move the ball a lot quicker. They've been able to get a lot more one-out marks and move the footy a lot quicker, and it's really troubling the Albury defence. And when we touched on in the pre-game some of these bigger blokes they've had, but it's the smaller guys that are getting the job done. Amory, Wilson, and Lewis are the like that are getting it done for the Rovers.
As Amory now gets on the move, kicks from about 35. Called the play on, and he's put it straight through the middle. Elijah Amory, if you don't mind, 7 in a row to the Wangaratta Rovers, and that's number 2 for Elijah Amory in this second quarter, and he's been fantastic, as Freaky mentioned. Takes the Rovers now 7-4, 46 to 5-4, 34 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard.
It's just a flip of the book from the first quarter. 15 inside 50s to 7 in this second quarter, where in the first quarter it was 15 inside 50s for Albury to 4 for the Wangaratta Rovers. So a +8 in this second quarter for the Wangaratta Rovers. Man, we get all the ball on their terms. And at one point in the inside 50s as well, guys, it was 5-4 in favour of the Albury Tigers. So they've only had 2 inside 50s in the last 15 minutes of footy, so they just haven't won any of the ball, and the Rovers are taking full effect of it when they have gone forward.
Absolute coach killer, that 50-metre penalty, wasn't it? So late in the second quarter, give that one away. Silly from Michael Duncan.
12-point lead to the Rovers, and they're going to have another crack at this one. Prime applies a good tackle on Hillary, but he got the don't argue and kicked a high up and under up to half forward. Paddy Murray made a contest. Now it's Garlett. Lost his footing. Prime train came through for the Rovers. Work done was Garish. Got it back. McNamara, little chip kick wasn't the best. Miles got taken high. Just happily lifted the elbow there and worked himself a free kick as the siren sounds for half-time. Here at the Albury Sports Ground, a quarter dominated by the Rovers. They kicked 7 unanswered goals, and they lead this contest 7-4-46 to the Tigers 5-4-34 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Stick around, it's a big half-time show. Coming your way next on O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing. All
Looking
clear.
for somewhere great to eat?
Thank you.
Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Yes, and welcome back to the Albury Sports Ground, where we saw a massive momentum shift in that second quarter from the Wangaratta Rovers, who were 5 goals down at one point in that second quarter, but stormed home to kick the last 7 goals of the second quarter. They lead 7-4, 46 to the Albury Tigers, 5-4, 34, and it was just a real flip of the game, wasn't it? Scott Montgomery, who joins me here at the halftime show, and it was just a real change in momentum, wasn't it, mate?
Well, they didn't score a goal, the Wangaratta Rovers, until 11-minute mark of this second quarter, and then the next 18 minutes, they've kicked 7. So they kicked 7 straight from the 11-minute mark of the second quarter. So just shows that momentum is a strange thing, and we always talk about the Wangaratta Rovers. They love momentum. They've got players that can come in out of games when they're going. they are very hard to stop, and we just saw then what their best footy looks like, and it's dangerous to think in a final, if they get up and going like that, they could blow some teams apart.
Well, it's not the first time they have done it against Albury, as you touched on there in the finals. We saw it last year. They came back from the 38 points down in that particular game with Martin Park and were able to get over the line as well. So it was just simply outstanding. It was just it wasn't probably some of their more key forwards that you would think as well, Mon. It was some of their lesser lots, especially some of their smaller forwards who were able to get the job done. Yeah, absolutely. Elijah Amry hit the scoreboard twice. He was fantastic. Had the 50-metre penalty. We spoke about it in the call about Justin Lewis was just a nagging little small forward. Dylan Wilson again had 2 shots on goal, another small forward. It was great. But then also the prime train kicked the 2, and Alex Marklew, who I thought was good for half of the quarter. And then when they really got on the roll, he probably went a little bit quiet, which is good to see that they've still got improvement in that footy that we just saw then. Yeah, and if we have a look at the 40-wing stat sheet, as you touch on there's some improvement that they can make. Jack Garish only had the 3 disposals in that second quarter. Alex McCarthy only had the 2 disposals. Lockie McCartney only had 3. So there's plenty of scope there. But that just shows that these lesser, not the lesser players, but players that aren't so much your household names, I guess, in the Albury Murray, really stood up for them. If we have a look at the rest of the 40-wing stat sheet, as we touched on, the inside 50s was a carbon copy from the first quarter, but flipped the other way. It was 15 inside 50s for the Wangaratta Rovers to 7 for the Albury Tigers, where in the first quarter, Rovers only had the 4 inside 50s to 15 for the Albury Tigers. So just a full change in that part of the game. If we have a look at the possession getters in that second quarter, had 7 disposals for Bryden Hodgson. He takes him up to 10 for the game. Elliot Powell had the 5, gets him to 11 for the game. Anthony Miles had 5, that's 12 for the match. And George Holland-Smith, who was outstanding up until from the start of the game to about the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, was clearly the best player on the ground. He'd had the 15 disposals in that first half and kicked 2 goals as well. He was everywhere for them. And if we have a look at the Wangaratta Rovers side of things, Sam Murray's up to 19 disposals, which he's our leading disposal getter on our stat sheet, and 9 each for Brody Philo and Lockie McCartney. Do you think with George Holland-Smith, as you said, he probably went out of it a little bit for that last 10, 15 minutes of that quarter. Do you think until he gets some continuity in playing some games in a row and get that run in the legs, that he is going to be a guy that goes in and out of the games? Obviously, his class is going to get him around the footy enough at times, but it might be the fitness, it might be, I don't know, what do you think, Freaky? Yeah, well, I think it's going to take him some time. Obviously, he played a few games to start the season, and now he's sort of making his way back. Their last game against the Wangaratta Magpies that we did, he had the 17 disposals that day, so he didn't have a lot of the footy, but we obviously know the injury problems that the Magpies had on that day as well, and the game was done fairly early, Gussie, so I think he needs this block of football before finals to get the best out of him. He was outstanding in that
obviously the canteen shut on this side of the ground. Is that why you're back now, Gussie? Is that
yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, they ran out of food. Interesting you mentioned George Holland-Smith. I felt he played good footy and the Albury Tigers were on his back. And as a result, in that second quarter, when the Tigers had no support around George Holland-Smith, he sort of lost his ability to take his game to the next level as well. He still had a handful of disposals, still looked to be getting to a lot of contests. He actually kicked the first goal of the quarter. But when the Albury Tigers sort of dropped that support around him, it really allowed the Wangaratta Rovers to shut down George Holland-Smith.
We spoke about at the time that Dylan Wilson went to him for 2 or 3 contests in a row. Do you think they just started to put a bit more time into him, didn't let him just do his own thing, and that makes it a lot harder, especially if you haven't got that explosive pace that he doesn't to get away with him? Like we saw Elliot Powell was still quite dangerous with his explosive pace, even when Wangaratta had shifted that momentum. So it's just one of those things. I feel that he'll get better and better as he gets more runs into him.
And, Anthony Miles, he's a player that we talk about so frequently. He's only had 11 disposals, and yet whilst he's probably leading the top half of the disposal getters, by his standards, we expect him to get 30, 35. So if they put too many eggs in the George Holland-Smith basket, it's going to allow Anthony Miles, Elliot Powell and so forth to get on top.
Well, Miles is probably in the same boat as George Holland-Smith in many respects as well. Mine obviously coming back from such a serious injury as well. And I think it's his third or fourth game back now. And obviously they've had a bit of breaks in between, so he hasn't had that continuity as well. So it is going to be the type of thing, I think you're right there, Mon, where they'll have bursts where they'll be completely dominant in the game, but then they can go out of it. And they just probably need that little bit of consistency, and it's the players around them for Albury that really need to stand up. Well, speaking of Albury, obviously the Rovers had the momentum, everything went their way. What do you think at this halftime juncture now, Mon, that the Albury Tigers can do to try and swing a bit of momentum back their direction?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing they've got to do, Isaac Muller's got to get back on top in the ruck. I feel that when Toby Murray went in there, he's a bit more of a leaper, whereas Christie's a bit more of a wrestler and a pusher and a shover, a bit like Isaac's sort of style of a ruck. So I'd like to see him maybe just try and take the jump away, jump early, jump into Murray before he can get up, because Toby's known for his athleticism and his leaps. So I feel Isaac, when they were on top, was when Christie was in the ruck, and Isaac was able to wrestle with him and probably a bit stronger. His tap work was fantastic, but then it really died off when they got the momentum shift when Murray went into the ruck, and then all of a sudden guys like Philo and the such through the middle, McCartney were able to get on top.
We'll go around the grounds at half-time. A couple of big games in our sister station, 2AY. The half-time score is North Albury 6-4-40 to the Panthers, 9 behinds. And around the grounds in the TDFL, Yakandanda lead 4-8-32 to Beechworth 1-3-9. Freaky, what do you got in Ovens and Murray football?
Yeah, and the other scores in the Ovens and Murray at the moment, very similar scorelines in the other two games as well. Yarrawonga taking on Myrtle for getting the job done, 75-19 in that game. And the Wangaratta Magpies, they're too strong at the moment for the Wodonga Raiders, 70-17. If we do a Ray White Rural netball update in the Ovens and Murray A grade that's already been played today, another loss, a second loss in the row for Yarrawonga, losing to Myrtleford, which really going to shake up that top five. Albury Tigers getting the job done here in our broadcast game against the Wangaratta Rovers by 13 goals, 50-37. Lavington only just getting over the line of North Albury, 55-53. And Wangaratta Magpies too good for the Wodonga Raiders, 50-37. And if we have a look at the ladder now, obviously Raiders at the start of the day were third, dropped back down to fifth. And Myrtleford now jump up into third position on that ladder. There's three teams, third to fifth, all on the same points in the A-grade netball, just a percentage that separates them.
No, it's a fantastic competition, our A-grade netball, to complement our SSNA, Ovens and Murray senior footy. Gents, who do we see coming out on top in this second half? What's going to be the style of footy and the style of footy they're going to have to play to get in front?
It all depends if the Wangaratta Rovers are allowed to keep having the speed on the game. We saw when Albury were able to slow down their league speed and get their numbers behind the ball. That's when they were really able to nullify them, and that's when they really struggled to score in that first quarter. But in that second quarter, they really outside of the first 10 minutes, they struggled to slow the game down, and that's where the Rovers were able to get the pace on the ball and get on top. And I think whatever team can slow down the other team enough in the second half is going to get the job done.
Yeah, I feel that if the Rovers can continue to be allowed to play the way they played that last 15 minutes of that second quarter, they're going to win this one by 5 or 6 goals. But if Albury can get back on top, just control the footy a little bit more, and just try and hold on to possession. They're trying to go back through the middle where Rovers did it perfectly. They set up so well through the middle of the ground, just chopped off any short kick that Albury normally just get given the highway here. So it's great to see there. Rovers have thought about it, but if Albury can just hold on to the possessions, go a little bit shorter maybe, don't bomb away and let Sam Murray do what he wants to in the back half, then I feel Albury may be still a little bit too good for him.
Sky?
Yeah, I think Albury are going to be a little bit too good. Rovers, they come out firing. They played well in the midfield, and they did what Sam Murray did. But it's still a very messy brand of footy. It's like they're fighting for their life. I don't think they can withhold that for another half of footy. When you got the experience at Albury Tigers, they're going to go in, talk about those few things, shut them down. I don't think they're going to be allowed to continue to run around like that.
I just think of the Rovers that there's such a momentum side of footy. If they can play a blistering 10-minute passage of football, I reckon it'll be enough for them to get across the line. But we've said it so many times on O&M Live, the best and the worst of the Rovers, the gap is so far. It just all depends on what side of the Rovers comes to the party in the second half. The halftime show is done and dusted. The Rovers lead 46-34. Stick around on the other side of the break. The second half is coming your way on O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Welcome back to the Albury Sports Ground. Third quarter not too far from getting underway, and the Oz Kickers freaky are taking their time getting off the ground.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of me time for the Oz Kickers at the moment, I'd say, Gussie. Get their 5 minutes of fame to play on. What a wonderful surface it is here at the Albury Sports Ground. It was probably, I haven't seen that many kids out there in a long time. 2 games of Oz Kick out there at once. Normally there's only the 1 game, but yeah, good to see so many kids down the footy today.
I reckon the mums and dads are loving it a bit more than the kids do. The kids are already gone. It's just the mums and dads that are holding up the show at the moment.
I think a few of the dads might be taking the old 2 steps forward, 1 step back as well, Monty, by the looks of things.
Yeah, well, I reckon there's a few wobbling around, and one of my mates is actually floating around down there. Peter Senior, just a little shout out to him. He's wobbling sideways already at half time. So
a how long man?
No, he's not a how long man. An Albury man, played a bit of cricket with Pete and works at O'Brien Transport. So yeah, he's floating around.
Good to see around the grounds. Dylan Conway's kicked 3 goals and Lee Williams has kicked 4 for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Of course, we're waiting for that duo to come.
Won't that be dangerous if they do click? If they do click, it could be the best 1-2 punch in the O&M, I reckon.
Sky Burgess boundary side for Waters. No Michael Clark and Will Christie straight to the bench.
Yeah, I did get confirmation of the Wangaratta trainers that Pup Clark will not be going back out for the rest of the day. And yeah, also Will Christie's just started on the bench. He did not even go out and warm up with the boys, so I'm going to assume that that's him for the day as well, which leaves him with only 2 on the bench, which is going to take it to a stretch in such an intense game.
Could be the Achilles heels for the Rovers.
Especially with the way they play. They play a high energy, high intense game, don't they? So if they got only the 2 rotations, it could take away a bit of their run late in the day.
5-4-30 for the Tigers. The Rovers 7-4-46. Thanks to STY Metals. Umpire holds the Sharon of life, and Monty, take it away on O&M Live.
Murray, geez, I did a bit of a mixture of Murray and Murray go head to head in the ruck. Give that one to Toby Murray. Miles extracts it, gives a handball to Page, gives it back to Miles. Looked a bit unco, but they got there in the end. Miles now kicks it inside 50 and Sam Murray, thank you. Well read. Gets the kick now out to Jackie Gerish, and away go the Rovers.
True centre wing out of side. Too strong, too quick. Gerish gets the Rovers into attack, going back with courage. Well done, Hodgson. Brought it to ground level. High up and under kick in board, shut. Chops out now for the Rovers. 75 from home. Kicks into the pocket, trying to find Boyd. Gathers on the half volley. Sends one back to the Ibis. It was a wrong and it clean bowled him. But he regathered now onto Garish. 60 from home. Garish winds up. Top of the goal square. The front.
Nope. The
It's
train.
Prime Train has gone back with a bit of courage. Read it beautifully with a good use of the body. And Prime Train will have a set shot, point blank range.
Just been able to get repeat entries to start the third quarter. 3 inside 50s already. Jack Garish, he's been influential in this third quarter. He's already had 2 disposals, as we said in that second quarter. He didn't get a lot of the footy, but just getting his fingerprints on the game nice and early in this third term.
He's directly in front, but he's going to go the snap. Prime gets it through the big sticks. He's got 3 goals. Talk about bringing him back through the twos. He's made a statement. Prime's got 3, and the Rovers are out to a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, it's the start that the Rovers needed just to keep that momentum going that they had in that that second quarter, and they kicked a couple of goals late in that second quarter as well, which should have probably only been a goal, and silly free kick late in the 50-metre penalty late in the second quarter, giving that 2-goal lead, and early one here up to that 3-goal lead. It's just a nice little break for the Rovers.
It is, isn't it? 2 minutes in on the Macca's time clock. It's a really nice start for the Rovers. We see Muller and Murray go at it again. Give it to Muller. Ball falls to Shutt. Shutt gets on the boot and Miles chops it off. Ball goes to Gaynor. We're going to get a free kick. I think it's going to go to Jake Gaynor a little bit high. No, it's going to go to Miles. Anthony Miles, the coach of Albury, plays on quickly from the centre of the ground. Gets it inside 50 towards Muller. No, well done, Shaganolan. Gets it out the back. Daly v. Murray. We like seeing that. And Luke Daly's very happy just to knock it towards the boundary line and get a repeat stoppage inside 50 as we go boundary side for Waters to Sky Burgess.
Jeez, it's been good watching that contest, Daly and Murray today, hasn't it? It's been tussle, and I think Luke's kind of got that mental edge on him. I like it.
Muller got it back to Anthony Miles. Worked his way around the telephone box onto Byrne. Byrne kicks the Tigers into attack. McQuaid pushed under the footy by Conlon. Tried to take him on. Holding the footy. A real big moment in the game from Jace McQuaid. Wrapped up Jacob Conlon. And he wins a free kick in the back line for the Rovers.
Anthony Miles already up to 4 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet in this third quarter.
It's one of those players, heart and soul player, Jace McQuaid, does everything right as he kicks that one nice and long towards Henderson. Brought to ground there by O'Brien. Henderson just shovels it out. Ball falls to ground, shuts the first one there. And I think we're going to get a ball up, and we will. There's Jay Hillary. Just gives a little tackle. Free kick on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, in this, as we touched on, Miles started this third quarter well. 4 disposals already, 3 inside 50s apiece on the 40-wing stat sheet in this third quarter.
Ball tossed up again. Muller wins the tap. Gaynor gives a quick handball to Miles. Miles on the boot inside 50. Goes nice and deep. A couple of boys not even watching the footy. And Sam Murray goes back with courage.
Kick, Henderson fumbled it. Dangerous spot to lose the footy. Here's Bice, lowers the eyes. Umpire said not 15 to Powell, so he picked up, kicked across his body, and it lands out of bounds on the full. So both sides being a little bit fumbly around the contest, freaky, and after all that, it's in the back line.
Henderson dropped one he should have marked, and it was a nice kick there as well from Shutt. Just dropped one, put his team right under a lot of pressure there when it wasn't necessary.
Paddy Murray kicks long, trying to find brother Ibis. Falls the way a Muller for the Tigers. Inside forward 50. Gets out the back and touched on the last line of defence. Taking that one across the line is Cameron Chamberlain. And it's a minor score to the Albury Tigers. 35 plays 52 for Harvey Norman Betting. We played 4.5 minutes.
Sammy Murray again. We'll put him down for another 40s wing because he'll play on every single time, Freaky.
Yep.
Mark that one down as he kicks it nice and long. Gets the ball about 60 away. Goes towards the brother Ibis. Goes over the back to Marklew. Marklew to Lewis. Gives a little shoveling handball towards the Prime Train. He's been absolutely fantastic today. Nearly his best game, I'm going to say, for the Wangaratta Rovers.
When he didn't touch the footy in the first quarter,
Yep.
he still played that good a second quarter.
His second quarter was that good, and he started this quarter all right too, boys. I reckon he's been good.
There's something in spending 3 weeks mid-season in IB.
I reckon there might be a lot more boys making that trip next year. As the ball gets one down by Muller to that man, Prime Train. Tackled straight away by Byrne.
And boys, Lucas Conlon's just come off the bench and ran straight down to full forward as well. So just want to add that extra bit of height down their forward half, which may leave him a little bit short on the back end.
Well, without Christie out there, I think they've got that extra opportunity now as the ball gets kicked quickly out of the contest, and we'll have another boundary throw in. Lots of stoppages today. I'm still going to say we're on on track for world record.
Christie is up and about, Sky. He looks like he might be trying to come back on the ground, Will Christie?
Yeah, he's just been having a little jog. I don't want to speak too soon because he's kind of been doing that off and on for a little while. So when he's going to go on, I'll confirm it.
Inside 50 go the Tigers. Gaynor steadies and kicks a goal. A steal line goal today and a much needed response from Jakey Gaynor. Beautiful footy from the boy from Wagga. The Tigers needed that one. They moved to 6-5 to the Rovers 8-4.
Here we go. He's gone back on. We can confirm now. Will Christie has gone back on. He is limping down there, but he is back on the field.
Yeah, a beautiful goal there from Jakey Gaynor. Just really weaves in and out of traffic really, really well there and be able to get through a few players and kick a really nice goal. We've been treated to some really, really good goals today's game, and obviously that the scoreboard end of the Noriel end of the ground seems to be the scoring end. I think the bulk of the scoring has been done, and one goal's been kicked at the other end of the ground so far today.
I think you're spot on there, Freaky, as Muller wins that one again, gets out in front of that man, Gaynor, but McCarthy too quick, chopped off by O'Brien, gives a quick handball to Hall and Smith, to Muller, back to Hall and Smith through the middle of the ground, he gets moving, gets the ball inside 50 towards Conlon, no bice, chops it off instead, falls to ground, Shaganola dispossesses him, and he's going to get pinged holding the footy there. He's been told to play on through McNamara, quick handball from Williamson, gives it to McCarthy, short to Shutt. Shutt gives a nice little kick out wide towards Paddy Murray. Paddy Murray created a good space there. Rolls around on his not-preferred left.
Paddy.
Not great towards the Ibis. Poor bounce for the Ibis. Jay Hillary's done that really well, and he'd be happy to see the boundary line, and he takes it over. Paddy will want that one again.
Our man Paddy, not
The
known
swizzle
for his,
stick, yeah.
his ability to kick on the non-preferred. He's dug himself out of jail. True centre wing, boundary throw in. Back into play. Muller uncontested. Went through the midst of Hall and Smith. Regathered towards Duncan. Spills out towards the back of the contest. Duncan's going to have another crack at this one. Falls out. Appeals for holding the ball, but it just trickled out. The umpire, Jason Rain, blows his whistle. Will ball the footy up.
7 inside 50s to 3 to start this third term in favour of the Albury Tigers with 1 goal apiece. It seems like that Noriel end is the scoring end of the ground, just as the Rovers can really nullify the Tigers in this quarter.
Wilson, his kick was smothered by Muller. Now it's the Ibis, feeds it out the back of the pack and he finds his brother. Paddy, left-handed handball, wasn't the best, but it's still an opportunity for Lewis to come through. In fact, it's Amory, head over the football, and the umpire said, you had prior opportunity. It's holding the ball, and Riley Bice will get the free kick on the edge of the centre square.
Does it all, Riley Bice. He tackles, he chases, and he gets the possessions as well as he kicks wide to Page. Page is a handball, a bit underground towards Jay Hillary. Hillary fumbles it a little bit, wasn't a great handball, but then he lays a great tackle, Hillary, and we're going to have a ball up. What did Brody do?
Brody just got Pagey a bit late behind the football there, and had he have made more solid contact, Brody might have had a week off.
Yeah, Brody, don't do that. As the ball gets tossed up, Isaac Muller, no, that's not silly, Brody. That's after dark. As the ball gets going, and Milesy, a bit slow to get up there. Might have got a head high one. But the umpire's going to ball it up again. We moved about 3 metres closer to the Albury goal. We're still about 75 away.
I wonder if Lucas Conlon's role in the forward half is a defensive forward on Sam Murray. He's wearing him pretty closely down there at the moment. They've really got to nullify his effect of the game.
As the ball gets kicked out there, away go the Rovers. Ball falls towards Marklew. Marklew can't quite pick it up. Jesse Wilson overruns it. Oh, O'Brien, what's he going to pay, high or?
Pushing the back.
Yeah, pushing the back. So the ball's going to go to Marklew. Marklew in the middle of the ground, wants to get moving quickly. He's been called to play on. Jesse Wilson comes at him, puts him under the pump, but he's able to find a target in Williamson. Kai Williamson gets it over now towards Dylan Wilson. They're working hard, the Rovers. Pushes back now, asks the umpire if Miles, he ran over it, but he hadn't. McCartney runs past for a handball receive, but he says, no, I'm going to go myself. Dylan Wilson pumps it inside 50 to a one-on-one. You can't get any more one-on-one, and oh, too good! Marklew. Jesse Wilson was a bit out of position, and Marklew, too strong, won the wrestle, takes the mark, 25 out straight in front, and a 50-metre penalty makes it an absolute certainty now. Must have been a bit of mouthing, so Alex Marklew kicking from the goal line.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a mouth off there from, as I think it was umpire Jason Rain. I just seen him make the hand signal for a little bit of mouthing there. So just another ill-disciplined act from the Albury Tigers as Marklew just walks in and dribbles that one through. The second goal they've kicked from a 50-metre penalty in this game, and those couple of goals, who knows how pivotal they are going to be later in this match.
One thing I really liked about Marklew there is he timed his wrestle. He didn't engage in the fight with Wilson early because he knew he'd get penalised. He kicked his third goal from a really well-timed wrestle free kick.
He didn't really have to wrestle either, did he? Because that was where Wilson's momentum was taking him back past Mark Lou. So Mark Lou nearly just touched him on the way through and pushed him past, and it was just a little bit too good. Great forward craft.
If we go quickly around the grounds, a 10-point lead to North Albury, 41-31 in their game against Lavington.
3-13 the Panthers have kicked, Monty. As the Rovers go inside, attacking 50 once again. Contest forms at ground level. Amory wrapped up in a tackle by Hillary, falls the way of Byrne. Now on to Page for the Albury Tigers. The clever left footer finds the coach. Miles, he's got the overlap on and he finds his former AFL mate in Hall Smith. High up and under, Sam Murray sits in the hole with a crucial fist. Nolan went over his head, too much for Garish also. Now it's an opportunity for Hall Smith. On hands to Miles and Elliot Powell. Marks 45, maybe 46 metres on a slight angle. We've already seen him kick a goal from this distance today.
It's just those two boys, Miles and Hall Smith again, that are getting the job done for the Albury Tigers in the middle of the ground. 7 disposals for Miles in this third quarter and 5 for George Hall Smith. As you touched on at half-time, Monty, it's just those waves that they seem to be playing in the moment. They just need to be a little bit more consistent throughout the rest of the game for the Albury Tigers.
So Elliot Powell. Duncan's calling for it in the pocket. You're a silly man, Dunks. Elliott's not passing this one. He'll kick from 50. Makes nice connection, but it's to the left-hand side for a minor score. Now, Elliot Powell, he's kicked 1 goal, 2 this afternoon. And the Albury Tigers move to 6-6-42 to 9-4-48. CMV truck and bus.
That's the Harvey Norman betting it is, actually, Gussie, as Toby Murray now takes the ball. Gets wrapped up straight away. It's going to be a bit high against Bice. Ibis Murray goes through the middle, and what a kick that is. If he can ruckman and kick like that, let him do it. Jackie Garish takes the mark and moves it on quickly. Why not? He's got Mark Lou in a bit of space. Mark Lou now is about 60 away from goal. Kicks around the body. Well done by Wilson to put him under the pump. Ball's going to fall towards Crouch. No. Comes to ground. Hillary's there. And Hodgson's there for Albury as well. Prime Train goes and gets it. Gets it to Mark Lou. Alma Fudd from 55 throws it on the boot. He's got numbers everywhere in the goal square. Christie gets taken out of it. Probably should have got a kick. Umpire says play on. Dylan Wilson gets tackled. Gets out of the tackle. Around the body. Will Christie has taken the mark.
Pay the mark.
He's going to come back and he's going to have a shot from 10 metres out straight in front. And he's going to put the Rovers even further in front of you.
I would take that all the way back to Prime Train there, boys. He was 4-on-1 in a marking contest and brought the ball to the ground and was able to get the ball, keep going forward for the Wangaratta Rovers and just kept getting numbers there. But without him bringing that ball to the ground, they haven't had this. They're not going to kick this goal. So brilliant effort by him on a 4-on-1 contest.
He's been fantastic, the Prime Train today. Will Christie goes bang! Puts them even further in the front. 10-4, 64, 6-6, 42 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. We've gone 13 minutes on the Macca's time clock, and the Rovers are saying we are real contenders here today, boys.
Yeah, their last quarter and a half has been outstanding. It's probably been some of the best footy that we've probably seen in the Ovens and Murray this year. Just the momentum that they've been able to get and the way they've been able to use the ball against Albury on their home ground has been really, really outstanding work. You haven't probably seen too many teams do that against Albury here at the sports ground this year. I think maybe Wangaratta Magpies later in the game when they played him, he was maybe one, but not too many teams can come to the sports ground and play this type of footy against Albury on their home deck.
22-point lead to the Wangaratta Rovers. The Tigers, they need to respond, and they need to respond quickly. Gainer to Hillary. His right foot kick was pushed as he went to dispose of it. Miles applied a good tackle, a high tackle, in fact.
It's a stiff one from the guys going to ground, isn't it?
Little bit. As long as the umpire's consistent, Jason Rain's normally very good.
He's always consistent.
So McCarthy is going to go laterally. And the Rovers are being well held up. Conlon's come from full forward to man the mark. Up against Chamberlain. He switches out wide. Ball's in the hands of McQuaid for the Wangaratta Rovers. Outer side of the ground. Low chiselling kick. Works out okay. And he's got the big Ibis, who's working his way into the game beautifully for the visitors. Kicks long down the line. A lead comes. Prime Train gets it on the half volley. Handball's over the top. McCarthy inside 50. Boyd made a good contest.
Free kick had to be.
Chop of the arms, and Boyd's going to get a free kick. 30 metres out, slide angle. The lead was brilliant. The kick was just as good. And the Albury Tigers defence had no answers.
Just a very good little bit of play again from the Prime Train, just keeping the ball in play, a little bit of handball over the top, but not right place at the right time as well. Tom Boyd, front position for your forwards, and you're going to get rewarded if you get that front position. It kicks full short, you get the top of the arms like this and set yourselves up for another shot at goal.
One thing we probably don't say enough about Alex McCarthy's game, we know he's hard and goes and gets it, but his kicking is up there in the top 3 or 4 at the Wangaratta Rovers, so he's an absolute gun of the future.
The co-coach, the vice-captain. He's been quiet today, Tom Boyd. Starts his approach to the Botanic Garden and he loves it. Game-high lead of 28 points to the Wangaratta Rovers via Tom Boyd. 28 points, the Rovers over the Tigers on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard.
It's just been a blink of an eye, really, hasn't it? That this game is completely changed. It wasn't that long ago, was it, boys and Sky, that the 30-point lead to the Albury Tigers is now completely gone, and the 28-point lead to the Rovers has just happened in absolutely no time. It's been sensational play from all the Rovers players after the quarter time.
As we go down boundary side for Waters to Sky Burgess.
Yeah, you touched on it, Gussie, like that they would come out and do this and keep the momentum. It's a question now is can Albury shut it down? They need to do something. They need to pull something out of the bag.
Mother and Murray in the middle again. Falls to Gaynor. Gaynor gets on the boot very quickly, but it's that man, Sammy Murray. Luke Daly steals it. A little bit of a push in the back paid, and they're going to wrestle these two, the 2-13s. I think the ball's going to come back, is it? Or they paid advantage?
No, it looks like it's going to come back here. Jason was standing on the mark, so...
Nope.
He's signalled now he's going to go down into the pocket.
I don't
boundary throw in, Monty.
Yeah, boundary throw. I think they said advantage, so bad luck. We're not coming back. So ball gets tossed in. Murray wins the tap, goes towards McNamara. Gets set upon straight away, Paddy Mack. And we'll have another ball up inside 50 as umpire Jason Rain will yank this one into the air. About 35 out from Albury's goal. The Norriel end. Gone very quiet, that forward line for Albury. They need to get moving. Reece King first there. Probably got one high and he's going to pay it. The out of area umpire. Well played. Well played. So Reece King, he's hard at it, gets his head over it, deserves that free kick.
And that's smart footy from Reece King, trying to create something from nothing.
Gives it quickly to Riley Bice on the run from 45. Riley Bice puts it on the way. Not quite good enough. Misses to the right for a hit the post actually on the way through for a minor score. That now takes Albury to 6-7-43. Wangaratta Rovers 11-4-70 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Gone 17 minutes on the Macca's time clock.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, 3 disposals to Sam Murray in this third quarter, making that 4 now. Takes him up to 22 for the game. And 3 as well for Jack Garish and 3 for Alex McCarthy in the third quarter.
Prime Train having a well-earned break. He's actually being papped.
I can't believe that.
He's being papped. A few people getting a few close-up shots of the Prime Train.
Do you reckon it's the mullet, the Malay more they want than the actual Prime?
Might be a hairdresser. You know, maybe looking for some inspiration.
There's a few more while he's doing a few hammy stretches too.
18 minutes gone, and the Tigers, they trail by 27 points. Thrown on the boot by Henderson for the Rovers in towards attack. Max Byrne tracks it back for the Tigers. Goes by hand to Hodgson. Played a really good role in his return from a nasty leg injury as Holland Smith marks his numbers, please, Brad.
He's coming for his 21st disposal of the game.
70 plays 43. The Rovers lead the Tigers at the 18-minute mark for Maccas. George kicks long down the line. Big Izzy marks on the chest down in front, and they're playing methodically here, the Tigers. They need to capitalise on their next attack. Inside 50. McQuaid got falconed. It was a headbutt from McQuaid. Falls the way of Powell, and Powell dribbles it through for the Albury Tigers. Mawson's concrete play today, and someone do a concussion test on Jace McQuaid. He headbutted the football. Why use your hands when you can use your head?
Back of his head too.
That was quite possibly the flushest Falcon I've ever seen. That was, and it was a score assist as well. Just went straight to Elliot Power, ran into a little bit of space, and kicked a really nice and a really wanted goal as well for the Albury Tigers, just to get a bit of momentum in the game.
Get him off for a concussion test for that Falcon. That not got him fair dinkum in the noggin.
Oh, does he know he's playing AFL, not soccer? That was some flash moves.
And watching the Women's World Cup, I think, as it's going on, but seen two of the funniest things today, and that's one of them with obviously Lucas Conlon missing his boot completely earlier on. It's a field of comedies for Albury today.
James
Gaynor gets the centre clearance, bounces inside 50, gets over the back to Benny Kelly, gives the handball to Luke Daly, needs to steady up. Luke Daly catches it on the boot. Misses to the left, not good enough. Could have been one that really got him back in this game. 7-8-50, 11-4-70. It's 20-point lead on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, they are getting on top in a lot of different areas in this quarter, the Albury Tigers. They had 13 inside 50s to 9, so they are getting plenty of ball going forward. They just haven't been able to hit the scoreboard as regularly as they would like.
Murray's kick from fullback was intercepted by Muller, and he chips it in the King direction. Had too much on it for Reece, and he got taken high by Nolan. Plays on to Gaynor, run down, but not run out enough. Gaynor
another split second later, and Jake Gaynor would have got run down there, holding the ball himself. But really good back-to-back goals here for the Albury Tigers. They needed that little bit of momentum shift back their way. I cut it back to a 14-point lead now in the Wangaratta Rovers' favour. They've been able to get their noses back in the game. And this is probably one thing they haven't been able to do consistently all day, is just hit the scoreboard regularly enough, and they have in the last few minutes.
Yeah, I think they've got a bit more ascendancy through the middle. Big Isaac Muller's really starting to get on top in there. As now Ben Kelly's gone in there for a quick rest for Muller. Shutt gives a great handball there to Philo. Philo gets the centre clearance and it goes inside 50. One-on-one Prime Train versus Byrne. Byrne gets the punch. Gilmore overruns it for Albury. Goes back on it first. Gilmore, it's tackled straight away. I reckon we'll get a ball up just inside the 50-metre arc for Albury Tigers.
Around the grounds, thanks to 40 wings, to the Lavington Panthers 3:15.33 to the Hoppers 6:5.41 at three-quarter time.
3:15, oh my God. They need to do a bit of goal kicking practice, and it might be a bit too late for their season as Amory gets the clearance inside 50. Wilson comes back with courage and gets a fist on it. The Prime Train taking high. He's going to get another shot on goal. Tommy Blouch been fantastic today. He's going to have another shot on goal and go back to try and kick his fourth. And I'll tell you what, Freaky, they've really been on top in ebbs and flows at the moment, the Rovers, but when they're on top, they'll be able to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, and that's one thing they really have done better than Albury today, is when they have had the momentum and they have taken their opportunities, where Albury have wasted a few opportunities today.
This is one thing about Prime Train. When he plays a big game, he plays a big game, Monty.
He does, as he gets it on the boot now. He likes it straight away. He pumps the chest. The Prime Train, Tommy Blouch, kicks number 4 and number 12 for the Wangaratta Rovers, and they are flying here as they move along to 12-4, 76, 8-8, 56. The Albury Tigers on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard as we go boundary side, thanks to Waters to Sky Burgess.
How good is that? Like you said, he is absolutely on fire. I think he's got to be in contention for player of the day, doesn't he?
Well, he's probably a favourite at this stage.
I thought he'd be up there.
Certainly up there. He provides some good content. We'll give you the mail right now. Back in the centre, Philo gains a clearance here for the Rovers. A high up and under in towards half forward. Bounced the wrong way for Wilson. Hall and Smith gathers now onto Jesse Wilson. Miles inboard to Big Ben Kelly. He just throws it on the boot and gets the Tigers into attack. Good use of the body from Daly. Sam Murray came through. Driven hard into the deck there. Gaynor gets the footy, shimmies and shakes. Kicks a high up and under, and McQuaid on the last line of defence up against Isaac Muller. Takes a really strong mark. Showing his true colours today is Jace McQuaid. He kicks long down the line. 3-on-1. The 3 prevail. It's the Albury Tigers, and here's Elliot Powell.
Powley now goes from 65. Kicks to the top of the square. What a kick. Luke Daly all by himself. Elliot Powell with the vision. I tell you what, where's Sammy Murray? I think he was down on his haunches. He's really blowing at the moment, so I reckon he might have caught one and a tackle a bit earlier.
Just really, as you touched on there, Mon, caught it beautifully. Just beautiful vision there from Elliot Powell to be able to find Luke Daly in a bit of space. Probably just not the right option there as well for Jason McQuaid to go long down the line. It was a 2-on-4 in favour of the Albury Tigers. So if the ball ever came to ground, as it did, it was always going to be an outnumber at ground level, and the Tigers might hopefully take full advantage of it.
Luke Daly's had a couple of chances already today. Goes back now. That's his third chance, and he gets his first goal for the day. The Albury Tigers needed that. 9-8, 62. 12-4, 76 on the Harvard Normally betting scoreboard. Can the Tigers keep wrestling this momentum back?
Yeah, really good little bit of momentum as well there from the Albury Tigers. Just it nullified a quick reply from what Prime Chain was able to put his fourth through as well. So just a little ebbs and flows in the game. Albury just need to keep getting that momentum back in their favour, get multiple goals in a row as well. So it's really good play here. Only a 14-point lead in favour of the Wangaratta Rovers. The ball's back in. I thought we'd lost another ball over the fence as well today. There's been multiple balls go over that fence at the Noriel end of the ground, but just a really good game of seesawing footy, just high intensity. It's been a pleasure to watch.
You want to be honest, Lukey Daly probably can't kick it far enough to get over that big side and the scoreboard.
Monty, come on.
No, don't worry. I know Luke a bit through work, so he'll take that one with a grain of salt, I'm sure.
He won't be buying you a cup of coffee.
Yeah, we might have lost all Jossie's work too.
14-point ball game. The Rovers lead. Garlett's gone into the midfield to spark some life into the Tigers, but it's only as far as the Ibis. Inside attack go the Rovers. Out the back, well done Hamish Gilmore. Tries to kick out wide to find Page. This will suit the left footer. He goes with a low chiseler, and the work's being done. Working up the ground by Bice to switch the centre half back. Duncan's away. Garlett's on if he can find him. It's a beautiful kick from Duncan. Garlett marks between true centre and centre half forward. Kicks inboard to Kelly. Poetry in motion from the Albury Tigers. Elite foot skills, and Ben Kelly has a chance to go back and have a set shot.
Riley Bice, we love him getting the foot in his hands because he just chopped them apart coming through the middle there. Not a lot of people would have taken that one on, but opened it up with that kick to Duncan, and then Duncan made the right choice, went to Jeffy, and Jeffy, great kick inside 50.
Ben Kelly to the Murray River end of the ground. This to bring the margin back to under 10 points. Big Ben strikes it beautifully. What a game of footy we're witnessing in Albury. Ben Kelly for the Albury Tigers. 76 plays 68 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. The Rovers are hanging on, and it's shaping up for a big final term on O&M Live.
Just full of momentum swings in this game, and this quarter particularly just going one way to another. But as you touched on there, Mon, what shows what happens when you get the best ball users to get the footy in hand. Obviously, bias to Duncan, and I reckon Jeffrey Garlett's he'd be up there at Albury's best ball user around the ground as well. He uses it so well. He reads the game so well. Just found Ben Kelly there in a sea of players. A beautiful delivery from Jeffy.
I think you're spot on there, Freaky. When he gets a bit of movement in his kicking, he's fantastic. Jakey Garner with a bit of strength wins the clearance, kicks it on the boot straight away. There's that man Garlett. Oh, well done, Sammy Murray. Come from nowhere and dispossesses him. Goes back and gets it. Sammy just knocks it out towards Chamberlain. Chamberlain loses the footy. Bice gives a quick handball to King. King's got an open man. And there's that man, Colby Heiner Hennessy, sitting all by himself about 40 metres out. And he'll go back and try and make this a 2-point ball game.
The momentum swings in this game has just been absolutely phenomenal. I don't know how many games of footy I will have seen with both teams potentially getting to about a 30-point lead and then losing it in the space of 15 minutes. It's just been sensational footy. For us as neutrals, it's been a great game to watch. And yeah, Albury definitely need this one to give them that extra momentum going in three-quarter time.
Colby Heiner Hennessy gets it on the boot. He doesn't mind it. He puts it through. Colby with number 2. That's 5 of the last 6 for the Albury Tigers. And here they come. 11-8. 74 to 12-4, 76. 2-point ball game on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. And we've gone 27 minutes on the Macca's time clock in this third quarter, thanks to STY Metals.
Sky Burgess boundary side for Waters. The Albury Tigers are raking up that momentum.
It is lifting. You can really start to hear the crowd getting into it. Everyone's yelling. You start to get a little bit of intense out there. That's what we like to see.
2-point ball game. We've had a lead of 31 points to the Tigers. 29 points to the Rovers, and all of a sudden it's back to 2 on the eve of three-quarter time. In the centre of the ground, it's Miles. Handball at the back towards Lucas Conlon was good. In towards space, the long kick went, trying to find the hyphen. Heiner Hennessy, well done by big Paddy Murray. Made a contest for the Rovers. It's into attack. Head over the football was Holland Smith. Wanted a high free kick, and he's got it. The non-officiating umpire has come in from the side here, Freaky, and paid a high free kick to George Holland Smith.
Yeah, he has. I couldn't see there's players in front of me from
there.
Yeah, I couldn't see there were the players in the way there as well. So massive kick now right on half time to give Albury potentially the lead going into the last quarter. George, if he kicks this, he's had 7 disposals in this third quarter alone. So 22 for the game. He's been probably one of Albury's better players, ebbed and flowed throughout the game, but they'll need him to kick this one for him to give him extra momentum going to the last quarter.
To give the Tigers a 4-point lead at three-quarter time. George Holland Smith. 3 goals to the former AFL superstar, and it's game on here at the Albury Sports Ground. The Tigers lead by 4 points at three-quarter time. Don't you go anywhere, because on the other side of the break, you won't miss a thing.
All clear.
Looking for somewhere
Thanks,
great
mate.
to eat? Check out Social Dining and
football.
Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
An absolute cracker. But to tell us about the third and give us your local Optus stores, Albury, Wangaratta and Wangaratta Optus quarters best, it's Brad Freak on O&M Live.
Yeah, in that third quarter, I had to give it to Anthony Miles. I thought he was outstanding in that third quarter for the Albury Tigers, but there were so many players for the Tigers you could have given it to as well. Holland Smith had the 7 and kicked the goal as well. He was outstanding for the Albury Tigers. And for the Wangaratta Rovers, again, I thought the prime train was really good and did a few nice things early in that quarter when they had all the momentum in the game. And if we have a look at the 40 Wings stat sheet, again, it's inside 50s, just the ebb and flow of it. I had Albury down for 20 inside 50s in that third quarter. They just kept getting repeat entries, 13 to the Wangaratta Rovers, so +7 in favour of them. If we have a look at the disposal getters, as we touched on, Anthony Miles had the 10 disposals. He's up to 22 disposals for the game. George Hall and Smith had 22 disposals as well for the Albury Tigers and kicked 3 goals. And if we have a look at the Rovers side of things, 22 disposals as well to Sam Murray, who has quieter in that quarter. They really nullified his influence on the game. He had the 3 disposals in that third term.
They had the 11 scoring shots over in that quarter, 7 goals, 4. So out of those 20, they've hit the scoreboard more than 50%, so they'll be really happy with that.
Boundary sign for Waters, Sky Burgess. What do the coaches say at three-quarter time?
I headed over to the Albury Tigers huddle this time. There wasn't much said. He was really, really happy with the energy of the boys getting around each other. They just let them know they're going to be heavily rotating this quarter, so to keep up that energy. They touched on Gaynor, obviously winning that ball out of the mid, made a real big change on that, so they gave him a lot of praise. And they just said there's going to be a lot of one-on-one moments this quarter, and just to win your own one-on-one moment and bring that energy.
Who wins from here, Sky? Who's your tip?
I'm going to go Rovers.
Change. Monty?
Yeah, I'll stick with Albury.
Freaky?
Yeah, I'll stick with Albury just because the home ground and got the momentum at the moment.
For what it's worth, I'll go with the Rovers just to spark a bit of life into this contest. Around the grounds, we can tell you scores are level between North Albury and the Rovers.
The Panthers?
North Albury and the Panthers, I should say.
Yep.
4-17 to 6-5. That both equals 41.
I just count 4-7. They've had 21 scoring shots and they're on 41.
Correct.
That is ridiculous.
Free kick, some other scores?
Yeah, in the other games at the moment, pretty much one-way traffic is to be expected. Yarrawonga 114 lead Myrtle for 27, and Wangaratta 132 lead the Raiders for 36.
Here's the fourth and final quarter for APCO Wangaratta.
The best in the world, APCO Wangaratta's Jakey Gaynor gets the fourth quarter on the way. How he's played that most that third. Winning a centre clearance, hits high on Hennessy on the lead. Now goes inside 50 towards Conlon. Oh, McQuaid. Well done. Used his hands this time and not his head. And what a grab. Gives a handball to the coach, and Sammy Murray gets the driving kick out towards Gerish. Gerish and Page one-on-one. Gerish taps it over the top, and Page picks it up. Tackled straight away by Gerish. Miles is there to help. Flicks it back to Pow. Pow to Jake Page for Albury. Gets it inside 50. It's going to bounce inside 50, and we're going to see a right angle. Goes towards the boundary, and the umpire blows the whistle, and we'll have a throw-in. 45 around from the goal as the Botanic ends.
Just be nice to Jason McQuaid. We've had some feedback from his family. They're not overly thrilled with us mentioning the headbutt too hard. Okay.
Oh, we're going to mention another 30 times this quarter, I reckon, Gussie.
I was going to say, yeah, it's going to cop it. Back into play. Muller on the tap. Gainers on hands and knees. Brody Filo with a little dribble kick. It's chopped off by Elliot Powell for the Albury Tigers. He gathers cleanly, evades and finds some space into Gaynor. Gaynor lost his footing. In the end, it just spills out into a bit of a contest. Good tackle by Will Nolan, and we'll ball the footy up 50 metres out from Tigers' goal.
Ellie Powell up to the 2 early disposals in this last quarter, and an early touch for Anthony Miles, Brody Filo, and Sam Murray as well.
4-point lead to the Albury Tigers. Scores the same as it was at three-quarter time. Philo kicks long down the ground. Lewis wrapped up in a Conlon tackle. The Rovers need to communicate a bit better here as Prime Train handballs over the top to Wilson. Taps it on towards Marklew. Marklew was held by Hodgson. Professional free kick from Bryden. Wilson back to Hodgson. Byrne got taken high. The Tigers are playing frenetic footy in the back line here, and that's smart from Jesse Wilson. Take it across the boundary line. Get a restart. We'll ball the footy back into play 50 metres out from Rovers' goal.
Sensational forward pressure there from the Wangaratta Rovers, just to nullify the ball of the Tigers to get it moving forward. They're able to get a stoppage in their forward half and potentially set up a chance at a goal.
They didn't lay a tackle, did they, Freaky, but he kept pushing back. Ball
they
out
did.
straight to Prime Train. Gets a handball across to Gerish. Gerish gives the fend on Gaynor. Gets a driving kick inside 50 now to the hot spot. Wilson gets a punch on it. Falls to Amory. Amory drops the ball straight away. Dylan Wilson now for the Rovers. Gets tackled by Jake Page. As soon as he gets taken on the footy, and we're going to have a ball up 48 metres out from the Wangaratta Rovers goal. Just inside the 50. And he's going to throw it up now as we see Muller, who's been fantastic this second half. Really got Albury going. Just pumps it forward another 10 metres. Jake Page tackled straight away. He's going to get pinged on it. Dived on it. The umpire said, I reckon he's a little bit stiff. It's going to be a free kick to Jackie Gerish. 70 out from goal.
2.5, almost 3 minutes gone. Score hasn't changed from the final break. Gerish, not his best kick. Inside 50. Lewis overran the footy. Lucas Conlon can set up an attacking play here for the Tigers. He's got Heiner Hennessy on the outer side of the Albury Sports Ground. A booming right foot kick from Colby into attack. Hall and Smith made a contest. McQuaid happy to go by hand now to McNamara. Evades a tackle, right foot kick. Long down the line, not the best kick. Heiner Hennessy amongst the action once again. And Henderson applies a good tackle and takes him out of bounds for a boundary throw in between centre wing and half forward for the Tigers.
Might just get Sky to keep an eye on Jake Page, who's just come off the ground. He does have his left hamstring heavily taped as well, so just keep an eye on him, Sky.
As now, here go the Tigers. Jeffy Garlick gets the clearance, kicks it inside 50. Conlon! Haven't seen that a lot today, but geez, he looked too strong there for McQuaid. And another great kick from Garlett inside 50 as Freaky touched on in the third quarter. One of their best users when he has a bit of time and space.
Just put it into a really dangerous position and just allowed Jacob Conlon to lead at the footy. He finally got a little bit of run and a little bit of space and a time to launch at the ball, which to credit to the Rovers, he hasn't had a lot of that today. So one of the few opportunities he's had to jump and launch at the footy.
He'll set sail from about 35. Jacob Conlon. We know he's normally a dead-eye dick. Puts that one on the way, and I've done a Robbie.
You've done a Robbie.
Straight to the right-hand side. Through for a minor score, 12-9-81. The Albury Tigers leading by 5 points, 12-4-76. The Wangaratta Rovers on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard.
If we go around the grounds in the game between North Albury and Lavey, North Albury out to a 7-point lead there, 48-41. 14 minutes gone in the last quarter.
We've played 4.5 minutes here at the Albury Sports Ground. Thanks to APCO Wangaratta. 81-76, the Tigers lead the Rovers. Anthony Miles courageously back and intercepts here for Albury. Chips the ball into the pocket. A beautiful little pitching wedge from Anthony Miles, and Reece King, he marks 45 metres out slight angle. The distance might just be on his limit here, boys.
You reckon Jackie Gerrish thought he was in there when the kick come off the boot? But geez, that was just class, that finish there by Anthony Miles. And Reece King really needs to kick this one for him.
Hasn't hit the scoreboard today, Reece. And this will test his distance to the Botanic Garden end. Straight over the goal umpire's hats. Brilliant kick of the Sharon from Reece King. And the Tigers are out to an 11-point lead for Worklocker Wangaratta.
Just beautiful vision and ball use there by Anthony Miles. There's a little bit of push and shove here between Reece King and Jack Gerrish. There's a few players getting involved in there at the moment. There's been a little bit of push and shove throughout the day as well, but just beautiful vision and beautiful touch of the kick by Anthony Miles as well. He's up to 13 disposals in this second half alone. He's had 3 in this last quarter already within the first 5 minutes. He's been putting his fingerprints all over this game.
Tell you what, when they were down and out, Miles is the one that stepped up, isn't it? That's what you want from your leaders.
It's easily been his best game since his return.
Yeah, absolutely. As the ball goes in the middle now, Muller. And it was Boyd this time go at it, but this time Power wins the handball, gets it across to Gaynor. Give him that centre clearance out in front of King. King goes and picks it up, gets it back to Gaynor. Gaynor fumbles and Chagger Nolan's there to dispossess him. Gets it over the top to Dylan Wilson, dispossessed as well by O'Brien. Gaynor's kick smothered, very scrappy passage of play there. Oh! McCarthy just goes bang with a barrel inside 50. One-on-ones everywhere. Hamish Gilmore under the pump here from Mark Lou. Gilmore's not sure what he wants to do. Overruns it. Mark Lou gets it on the boots on top of the goal square. Duncan's there for the Tigers. Gives it to Coleman. Another quick handball to Hodgson. Hodgson doesn't take it cleanly, and now the Rovers have got it back through the Ibis. Ibis on the boot around the corner. Oh, just misses. Through for a minor score. Probably could have given a handball, Gussie, as you just gestured to me. Probably should have. Makes it a 10-point ball game on the Wangaratta scoreboard, and we've gone 7 minutes on the Macca's time clock.
It's all about which side's going to make the most of their looks inside 50 in this final quarter. Albury, they lead by 10 points for Worklocker Wangaratta. The Tigers work the footy up to true centre wing position with George Holland-Smith. His numbers, please, Brad.
He's coming up for his 23rd disposal of the game.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, he's playing a brilliant game of footy. Long kick down the line to Isaac Muller. Been really strong today for the Tigers. He's going to kick them into attack. Out in the Conlon direction. Beautiful footy from the Albury Tigers. Great service from Muller. And an even better mark from Jacob Conlon. He'll kick from in front of the netball courts, and he's already kicked one from here today.
You'd have to back him in from here, wouldn't you? He's kicked from this position already today. He's getting his fingerprints on the game, isn't he? He has been quiet today, and he's just starting to get his influence in the game in that forward half. And the Tigers, who are up by the 10 points, if they can get Conlon going, they're going to go a long way to win this match.
Can he kick a deja vu goal? The Tigers need it. Conlon strikes it, but doesn't strike it well. Out of bounds on the full. It's still a 10-point lead to the Albury Tigers for Worklocker Wangaratta. Plenty of footy left in this contest. We've played 8 minutes for Maccas.
And of course, this last quarter is brought to you by the best service station in the world as Reece King just chops off the kick there from Sam Murray. That is the forward pressure that we did not see in that second quarter. And now the Tigers are really starting to put their DNA on this game.
He really adds an extra element in that forward half, Reece King, doesn't he, since he's come into this Albury Tigers side. His last game against Magpies, he was sensational with his forward pressure.
Muller, great tap over the back now. Picked up by Chamberlain for the Rovers. Gets a handball on it. Falls to Muller. Muller tries to get on the boot and dispossessed and told. Didn't get rid of that one properly, Big Izzy. Free kick to Jackie Gerrish. Great tackle as he gives a handball to Sammy Murray. Luke Daly's chased him all day and can't quite keep up anymore. What a kick. Goes from defensive 50 to inside 50 just like that through Sam Murray. Alex Marklew right on his range here. He's thinking he's half a chance with no one in the goal square. Sets sail for home. He's got it. Just missed. Just missed to the left-hand side. Minor score. Makes it a 9-point ball game here for the Albury Tigers.
Would have loved to have seen Marklew just take a little bit more time, perhaps. Had a lead from Philo, but the lead came way too quick. Marklew wasn't able to find him. Ball's on the outer side now. Riley Bias is dispossessed. And we'll bring the footy back into play with a boundary throw in. Brad Freak around the grounds, thanks to our good friends at 40 Wings.
Yeah, it looks like Lavington have hit the front against North Albury by 1 point, 49 to 48 in that game.
Got a feel for me and Panda.
5-19 for the Panthers. Back into play here at Albury. It's Elliot Powell for the Tigers. That'll be holding the footy. It is. Great tackle applied. McCarthy Kicks the Rovers
50.
inside 50. Talk us through that one, Mons.
Yeah, I think when Jeffy Garlett was having a bit of a go at the umpire, and he goes, "No, come with me, boys." So Alex McCarthy will have a shot on goal from about 40 out. And I'll tell you what, it's not a bad 50-metre penalty to score. He's still going.
That is good real estate from the men in green.
I would buy real estate
I would
from
buy
him.
real estate from him if we weren't. Oh, the interest rates aren't great, Monty, but we've had 2 consecutive holds, so you might be able to buy it.
Yeah,
might be able to buy
I'm in all sorts. Cresa doesn't pay enough.
This chat's getting way too ahead of me. It's just
McCarthy, a must-kick goal for the Wangaratta Rovers to the Botanic Garden of the Murray River end. Strikes it beautifully and he's kicked it. Really important goal in the context of the game. 77. The Wangaratta Rovers, they move. That scoreboard's a little bit behind the 8 ball. 83 to 87, it should read now. And all of a sudden, it's under 1 kick the margin. This game has had it all at the 10.5-minute mark, thanks to Abco Wangaratta.
That's the 3rd goal today. The Wangaratta Rovers have kicked directly from 50-metre penalties against Albury Tigers, just for silly mistakes as well.
Number 1.
Just wonder how crucial those 3 goals are going to be when the final siren blows in this game.
Did he get straightened up a little bit too much there? He come from the
I reckon he
boundary,
did.
ended up nearly
I reckon he
straight in
definitely
front.
did.
So I don't know about that. But anyway, the ball goes up in the middle. Muller versus Murray. Got it right that time, boys. Milesy gets the centre clearance. Give him another 40s winks. He's going to get given a free kick down the field here. Just held on a little bit too long, Lockie McCartney. Ball's going to go to Colby Hennessy. I reckon he's got a nice long kick here. He'll go nice and deep inside 50 as he does towards that battle of Daly versus Murray. Murray gave a nice little shove and timed it well because umpire said that's a mark. So Sam Murray now will be the one to repel the Albury forward thrust. Murray now is trying to kick it to space. Then he gets a little torpedo through the middle of the ground. It's going to bounce and Wilson's there all by himself. Fumbled the footy. Here comes Lewis. Justin Lewis for the Rovers. Gets a handball over to Garish. Garish picks it up cleanly, kicks it around the body. One-on-ones there everywhere. Who's going to take it? Boyd or Gilmore? Brought to ground. Well done there from Byrne. Wilson gets it back to Byrne and now goes short towards Page, and Page takes a diving mark. It was needed. Wasn't the best kick by Maxi. Now here goes Page. He's going to switch a footy. It's a bit of a dangerous kick. Hasn't hit the target, but Duncan's got plenty of space and he's got an option out wide. Colby Hennessy. Hennessy's been working very hard this quarter.
He's got Jeffy Garlett out. That's what I was just pointing out. Sorry, Gussie.
Oh, sorry, man. I thought you wanted to say something. Here comes Garlett. Streaming into attack for the Tigers. Inside 50. Oh. Ben Kelly. Big Ben's taken a superb mark. Second bite of the cherry. He was running at full tilt. Stuck out the big jukes and it stuck. Kelly's going to have a set shot 40 metres out directly in front.
Was that man again, Jeffy Garlett, bit of time and bit of space, be able to deliver the ball beautifully. We've seen in this second half. I think as this game's worn on, he's really getting his fingerprints on the game and he's been outstanding in the forward half for Albury today.
Big Ben for the Albury Tigers starts his approach to extend the margin for 9 points to the Botanic Garden end. It's a nice looking kick, but it's just pushed across the face for a minor score. Ben Kelly would have loved that one for the Albury Tigers. 13-10-88 to 13-6-84 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. It's a big final quarter, Monty, at the 13-minute mark for Maccas.
It is, and I tell you what, big Colby Hennessy's game today has really opened up the Rovers at times. He's worked so hard as a half-forward flanker. He's got up the ground. He's the one that's been their outlet kick, and he's opened the forward line up big time. So hopefully he can keep going for him as the ball gets brought out now. Miles is the first one there, gets a handball to King. King sidesteps, but tackled straight away, and you're gone, Reese. Well done, Amory. Ball gets shoveled over the top by Shut to Marklew. Marklew kick doesn't favour Boyd and Gilmore. A little bit too good there. Gilmore gets moving straight away and they've got space everywhere. O'Brien and Byrne on the far side of the wing. Bounces now to Byrne. Kicks it low to that man, Hennessy. Hennessy now is going to look for a target inside 50. Big Benny Kelly's nice and deep all by himself, but he goes a little bit shorter towards King. King, well chopped off there from Cam Chamberlain. Needed that one because that was well read by him.
He's been really good today, Monty. I've liked his game. He's a bit of an unassuming type, but he's playing a really big role here for the Rovers. Freaky quickly around the grounds for 40 winks.
Yeah, 5-point lead now to the North Albury Hoppers, 54-49. 25 minutes gone in that game at Button Park.
Dangerous kick out of defence for the Rovers. Jesse Wilson chops out for the Tigers. Kicks inside 50. The mark's been dropped and the Rovers have numbers. Looks like it's Shut, who kicks Marklew into attack. And it's a good man to have the footy with. Philo takes a second bounce, takes a third, gets inside 50, kicks the hot spot, needs a good bounce. He might get it! Bloody Philo, you are kidding me! Steal line goal today from Brodie Philo. Winding back the clock and hitting the front for the Wangaratta Rovers. This game's had it all on O&M Live.
You called it, Mon. You called it as soon as he picked up that ball right in front of Sky Burgess down there on the boundary line. You just said he was going to kick that, and he just read the play beautifully, just arched the back enough to get away from Jay Hillary, and then just got a nice little bounce just at the last bounce there to sneak in for a goal.
Do you know what he did do? He didn't run at the goal. He ran away towards the scoreboard more, because then when he kicks it across, it's more likely to bounce that way. And knowing Brodie Philo and how he knows how to kick the footy, he would have meant that on purpose. Because if he runs straight at it, it's going to have a straighter bounce, which means it won't curl like that one did. And I'll tell you what a goal. We've seen it all today. A couple of massive goals from that end for the Wangaratta Rovers.
From that spot.
Just about that spot. I think Brodie might have been about 40 metres further out than the prime train, but
don't let the truth get away with a good story.
What a goal. We're back in the middle now. Ball gets tossed up. Muller just gets a big fist on it. Goes to Shut. Shuts could have maybe got rid of that, but they just wrapped it up, and good tackle from Riley Bice, as we'll have another repeat ball up in the middle of the ground. Ball goes up, Muller again, wins the tap. What a tap towards Bice. Bice just gets around one, gives it to his coach in Miles. Snipper Miles, sets up in 45 and just misses to the left-hand side. Another minor score for the Albury Tigers. 13-11, 89, a 1 point lead to Wang Rovers 14-6-90.
And around the grounds, North Albury have beaten Lavington Panthers 8-6, 54 to 5-19, 49. So the Panthers are probably done in season 2023, you would assume.
They've done nothing but shoot themselves in the foot the entire season.
Poor Kings, poor football, and that's all Lavington's season's been.
1 point ball game here at the Albury Sports Ground. The Rovers lead at the 16.5 minute mark. Still at least 10 minutes to go in the final quarter. Powers dropped an absolute dolly on the outer side. Needs some support from O'Brien. He gets it. And the boundary line will be the destination for this share and will bring the footy back into play. Boundary sign for Waters, Sky Burgess. A lot of anticipation on the bench.
Absolutely. I think when Philo got that goal, every single bench was up waiting to see which way that ball bounced. It was amazing.
Ball now falls to, I think it was Wilson, Dylan Wilson for the Rovers. Kicks it inside 50. Well done, Byrne. Brings it to ground. Oh, fumble there. Don't want that. And it's going to be a free. No, holding the footy. Thought it might have been a push in the back to Mark Lou, but it's going to be a free kick to Maxi Byrne. He's been a pillar in defence today. He's taking this one on. Kicks it out in front of Jay Hillary. Got to get a good bounce here because it's 3-on-1. Oh, what a contest. Nolan and Hillary keeps going. Garish is the first one there for the Rovers. Back to Sammy Murray. Bit of sidestep in here. Bit going on the bench on the boundary here. As they're still going on as the ball goes inside 50. Hodson wins the footy. Gilmore gets a kick on it. Here it goes over the back towards Hillary again, but Sam Murray, only one watching the footy there, takes a great grab.
Really good mark from Murray. Kicks the Rovers into attack. Out the back, Markley, was he held? Umpire said no. Burns got a foot race and the prime trains with him. Bolsh for the Wangaratta Rovers. Shimmies and shakes. Sells a second bit of candy. Left foot kick. Top of the goal square, Boyd. Not strong enough. The Tigers rebound and the ball's with Hillary.
And they're through. Jay Hillary now gives a handball back to Lucas Conlon. They're taking the game on through the middle. Goes towards Big Ben Kelly. Drops a mark he probably should have taken. Cody Shut for the Rovers, gets it back. Gives it back to Toby Murray, who wants to kick an NFL-style punt inside 50. Not what your forwards want. Hamish Gilmore for the Tigers gets a kick, and it's going to go out of bounds. And we're going to have a boundary throw-in on the far side, about 70 away from the Rovers' goal.
Yeah, in this last quarter, 12 inside 50s to 11 favour the Wangaratta Rovers. Fairly even. Jack Garris has had 5 disposals. Sam Murray's had the 4. Anthony Miles is up to the 6. George Holland-Smith yet to touch the footy in the last quarter.
He's been everywhere and so influential this quarter, or this game, I should say. He's been nowhere this quarter, Freaky.
No, he certainly hasn't. There's still plenty of time for him to get in this game, which he's just about to. A little bit fumbly there.
Got the fumbles and almost touch. Really big stoppage here, and we'll ball the footy up once again. Monty, such a crucial part of the game. Every move the coaches make here is going to be so influential.
Absolutely. You don't want to take it on too much because you might give him an easy goal. As Powell now gets the clearance and just goes long, tries to get some territory in that man again. I tell you what, he stands up when he's needed, Sammy Murray, and he goes bang and kicks it back down the ground. Muller's the first there, falls to Powell again. Powell gets wrapped up beautifully, but the tackle doesn't quite stick. And he kicks it around the corner now, finds Gaynor. Gaynor gets moving with it, wants to give a handle. He does now. Here they go, the Tigers. Bice, inside 50. There's a man in Daly, and he's worked hard to get that mark. And plays on. Luke Daly kicks a goal from the goal line. Gets the Tigers back in front. 20 minutes gone in this last quarter. Stand up, take a bow, Luke Daly. That's work rate right there.
Yeah, beautiful play there by Luke Daly just to get back and work Sam Murray back the other way. Just hard to be able to kick the goal. Just a little bit of concern for a Rovers player on the other side of the ground, boys. I think it's Lockie McCartney who went down. I think it looks like a head knock or something like that. He
got the tattoos.
He's not in a good way over there, guys. He saw him trying to get up
too, boys.
Yeah, I saw him try to get up. That might even have some blood coming from the face. Just guessing. Obviously, the trainer's taken the high vis shirt off and looks like they're wrapping it around something. So might be a bit of a stoppage in play here at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's all happening here. We'll cross boundary side to Sky Burgess for Waters. What's the latest at ground level?
Tell you what, there's going to be a few sore boys after today. There's been lots of hard contests with that high pressure. Trianother one I've kind of been keeping my eye on is Anthony Miles. He copped a very hard knock to the head earlier and stayed out there, and then just in that late in that quarter tried to spoil Sam Murray and nosedived into the ground, and he did come off for a little bit after that. So I think he's going to be, maybe should be keeping an eye on the concussion because he didn't look that great when he come off, but he's a tough player. He's gone back out there, but he's just another one to keep an eye on.
Great to have listeners joining us on 1494 2AY. Of course, they've just listened to the North Albury Hoppers win a thriller over the Lavington Panthers, and here at the Albury Sports Ground, if you just joined the broadcast, Luke Daly just ran into the open goal to give the Albury Tigers a 5-point lead at the 20-minute mark of the final quarter. 14-11-95 the Tigers to the Rovers 14-6-90 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. And freaky, Lockie McCartney is being taken from the ground, and he doesn't look to be in a good way at present.
No, he's not. He was on the ground, but he is up to his feet now. It looks like they're trying to... They did take the stretcher over to him, but it looks like that he's going to get off the ground under his own accord. He has his arm in one of the trainers. Looks like he's going over towards the grandstand side of the game. Just going to go straight off the ground.
I reckon they're going to get him straight in the Albury rooms, and there'll be an ambulance called straight away, boys, because that's the back entrance for the ambulance to the Albury rooms. So it's great that our O&M clubs, they do help each other out when there are players injured, don't they? And it's great to see because, a lot of clubs wouldn't allow that.
Freaky, you've got an update for us in that North Albury game and the way it finished and played out? Yeah,
Josh Minogue was able to kick a goal with 2 minutes left to put the Hoppers in front for that game there. Obviously, they had the lead, got out to, I think it was about a 30-point lead early in that game, but Lavington tried to chip away throughout the day, but weren't able to get enough and get the game done. It's in this game, interesting poise too, boys. Obviously, with that short break, you don't often see very, very much, basically a timeout with 10 minutes to go. The teams have basically had a little bit of a timeout, obviously, through an unfortunate injury, and just be able to get on the same wavelength.
About 3 minutes lost, I reckon, Monty.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. And he's walking on his own now, so it might not be as bad as what we first thought, boys, but all wishes to Lockie McCartney.
5-point lead, the Tigers lead, and Gaynor gets Albury into attack to the Botanic Garden end. Clever work from the Tigers. King
He's one of those guys, he's short in stature and he's hard to tackle because he does go so hard at it. But just a sloppy bit of play from Cam Chamberlain, and he'll get a set shot on goal about 45 out here, boys.
So Reece King, this will be a massive goal if he can put it through the big sticks, Freaky.
Yeah, we'll give the Albury Tigers out to an 11-point lead. It's still with that short break. You'd still reckon there's about 10 minutes of game time left to play, even with the 11-point lead. But we've seen Rovers be able to score quickly in Albury as well, but massive kick this.
Reece kicks, left foot kick is on the way, and he stuck it through. 11-point lead to the Albury Tigers. Reece King's got 2. The Tigers have 15, and they bring up the ton in style on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard.
Yeah, beautiful kick there by Reece King, but really smart play as well by Cole behind Hennessy when he heard the whistle to stop and not blaze away, because the umpire may have played the advantage on there as well and have the set shot, have the deliberate approach of goal, and able to put that one through there as well. And as we've seen all day, guys, this game's just been full of momentum swings. I have to think that there's going to be one more momentum swing in this game in these last 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, and I think that the way they try to get an extra man behind the footy Rovers, and they kicked 2 goals since that's happened. So here go the Rovers again as Shutt wins the centre clearance, gets a handball, but it's punched away by Hillary for the Tigers. Garish is the first on it for the Rovers and gets a quick handball. Chopped off by Page. Ball a bit fumbly. Jake Page first back on a great handball over the top to Muller. Muller goes inside 50. Out in front of Luke Daly. Takes the grab. 45 out. What a lead up. And I'll tell you what a handball that was to get it over the top into the hands of Muller. What a play by Albury Tigers.
Got to be switched on here of the Wangaratta Rovers defender. We've seen it 2 or 3 times today that Luke Daly's passed off in this similar position. It's looking like he's going to have a shot at goal, but we've seen all day he's been looking to pass this distance.
Go on, Freaky. Put it out there. What's he going to do?
I reckon he'll look to just tick it to the top of the goal square.
lining up for goal number 3 here. Luke Daly is on the move now. We'll have to send it about 45, 46 metres. Rolls around, told to play on. He's sent it. It's got a bit short. Oh, too strong. Jacob Conlon. Toby Murray went to ground. Just a little bit too strong in that contest, Conlon. And as you called it, Freak, he just popped it up there, Luke Daly, to the top of the goal square and let his big key forward do his work.
He's had more influence in this last quarter than he has for the whole game. He's taken 2 or 3 really big, strong marks in their forward half and kicked a goal in this last quarter. Looked to kick himself his second for the game. Jacob
Conlon takes a big, deep breath. Massive kick in the terms of this game. This is to blow it out to a 17-point lead. On the move now, Jacob Conlon, if you don't mind, straight through the middle. Nearly put it into the Botanic Gardens. Steel line goal today. Jacob Conlon takes it to 16-11, 107 to 14-6, 90 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. And we've gone about 25 minutes on the Macca's time clock as we go boundary side for Waters to Sky Burgess.
Is that game, do you reckon, boys? Just about? There's not long left.
Not long left at all. If the Rovers are a chance, they've got to kick a goal in the next 30 to 60 seconds, you'd have to imagine. They've thrown the big dogs into the midfield. Murray, Philo, and Shutt.
Shutty would love being called a big dog, I reckon.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll watch that back on the replay. And Ibis needs to stand up here for the Rovers. 107 to 90, the Tigers lead. Murray won the tap, but Garlett's there for Albury to kick him into attack. King back with courage, made a contest against Nolan. 55 from home, tapped in towards a bit of space. The Rovers have numbers. They're going to have to be methodical here. Well done by Jacob Conlon, but he might have given away a free kick. Yep. He did here, and it's going to be a free kick for the Wangaratta Rovers. Is it McQuaid who's going to get it?
I think it'll be Chamberlain, mate.
Chamberlain's going to get the free kick. McQuaid was doing the sneaky, trying to be the recipient. Chamberlain's got the footy now, switches out wide. Nolan, dangerous kick, gets there in the nick of time. And Shagger Nolan marks across half back to kick the Rovers into attack.
And away they go. Oh, big man versus little man out there, and the big man wins. Normally do. Big Ibis Murray. He's taking the mark on true centre wing. Got to get it nice and deep here, Ibis. Kicks it out in front of the prime train. Not a great kick. Taken straight over the boundary line by Maxi Byrne. And wasn't a great kick. Now, a bit more direct here when you're 17 points down with only probably 5 minutes left.
27 minutes gone, 107 to 90. The Tigers lead for Work Locker. Wangaratta, 50 metres out. Murray, the Ibis, onto Brother Sam. Onto Philo, free kick for a throw. It's going to go the way of the Albury Tigers. And I reckon that might just be enough to put them in front at the full-time siren.
Yeah, Cole behind Hennessy again. Really smart play. Could have rushed on with the ball there and got a cheap kick, but decided to stop it and just allow his team to set up, and they'll just kill the footy from here. As we see now, Horn Smith just kicks it down the line. He's got a target in big. Ben Kelly takes the mark on the chest, about 75 away from goal. I think we can just about put a line through this game, boys. I think it's about all over as Kelly goes towards Conlon. And great fist there from McQuaid. He's done a reasonable job on Conlon today, but when it mattered, Conlon stood up.
I think for 3 quarters, McQuaid definitely had Conlon's number, but this last quarter, he's just had more of a presence in that forward half. Has Jacob Conlon been able to get more, take a few more marks is what he had all day, and just bring more footy to the ground, and probably had a little bit more space than he has for the rest of the game.
Average boundary throw in. That one will be thrown back into play. 28 minutes gone. Of course, we did have a bit of a break in play when Lockie McCartney was taken from the ground. He is on the bench with the trainers at present, and they're already down to 2 rotations, with Pup Clark taken from the ground in the first term. Muller handballs onto Hall and Smith. Now it's Garlett for the Tigers, whose handball was smothered. Sam Murray to spark some life into the Rovers team. Long down the line, trying to find the prime train. Well done by Byrne. Handball over the top to Heiner Hennessy. Michael Duncan tracks it back for the Albury Tigers. Got to be clean. He's not clean enough. Gets the handball into a bit of traffic. The Rovers have numbers. Mark Lew got taken high. Tried to milk a free kick. And he's going to get it in the end. And there is a couple of players down behind the footy. And Alex Marklew have a set shot 40 metres out, slide angle.
I reckon Hamish Gilman will try to kick the ball out of the air and kick Dylan Wilson. They're the 2 boys on the ground at the moment. So I think they might just be sore ankles with a bit of shins or something like that.
So Alex Marklew, it's a must-kick goal. There's no way to sugarcoat it. To the Murray River end, Alex Marklew has missed. It was touched on the line anyway, but the kick was inaccurate. I reckon that's all she wrote. 14-7-91 to Albury, 16-11-107, for Work Locker Wangaratta. Half an hour gone in the final term.
And Lucas Collins goes, give me some distance, boys. Gets it to a nice big pack and Bice is the first one there. Gets the kick, might be down the field. No, the umpire says play on. Gets over the back of the Ibis. The Ibis tracks it back, and there goes the siren as there's a bit of push and shove, and they're still going after the siren, boys. And it's getting quite dangerous, close to the fence.
Aubrey just need to be smart here and break
and
this
they
one
are.
up.
They've broken it up straight away, boys. But what a win by the Albury Tigers. What a second half. 16-11, 107. 14-7, 91. 16-point ball game. And just their second half, boys, was absolutely electric, I thought. They gave it up in the second quarter, didn't give a yell, and then they were able to go bang.
2AY listeners will take you back to the coverage of North Albury and Lavington. Blake Panda, Escott and crew will steer you through the drive home on 2AY.
So did they come to us so that Panda could go celebrate and sing the song with the boys?
Perhaps that's what the listeners were doing there. But here at the Albury Sports Ground and on 15-663-3E, the Tigers have been victorious. 16-11, 107 to the Rovers, 14-7, 91 in a game that had it all. Big marked, big goals, big moments, and these two sides have shown once again if they play finals footy against one another, we're in for an absolute show.
It's probably one of the better games of football that I've seen this year, just ebbs and flows. I don't know how many games of footy you see throughout the year where there's two 30-point turnarounds during the game going either way as well. It's simply outstanding as well. So full credit to both sides that neither of them lose any admirers after today's game. I thought that both teams were simply outstanding and showed why they're on the top half of the ladder and why they're going to be there at the pointy end of the year when it comes to September and finals action. So really, really good work from the Albury Tigers. You obviously get the points today. It was obviously a hard-fought victory. They had to keep fighting to get the 4 points today.
Certainly was. I think Sky's going to make her way down for our player of the day, thanks to Waters. I reckon Isaac Muller's a contender, Monty. He's had a bit of a slow second term, but he really worked his way into the contest, and I reckon that's who Sky's gone with for our Waters player of the day, the big ruckman, Isaac Muller.
I do. It was a hard pick today in such a high-pressure game. There were a lot of standout players, but you in the ruck, you're strong, you're good, we know that. It was a great game to see. There was a bit of a change when they threw Ibis in there. He come at you probably a little bit stronger, but you combated that. What was your thoughts when they made that change?
I suppose Will got injured early, and I think that probably put a pressure on Toby, and hell of a lot of respect for him to ruck the whole game. It takes a toll on your body, and he did really well today.
Yeah, it was a really great game. Good to get the win going in. You've got Raiders next week. I've got to ask, what does that mean to you? You know, you guys are sitting in second in the ladder. You're sitting well for finals, going into a game to bottom on the ladder. It is your old team. What's the game plan going into next week?
Just keep winning. Yeah, that's the motto. Just keep winning, and we'll keep winning right through to the end.
Cool.
Oh, I love the attitude. Good luck moving forward. It is well done.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Isaac Muller, our player of the day, and Sky Burgess will follow them into the change rooms to sing the song, and we're getting a little rendition blared across the PA system here at the Albury Sports Ground. Full time, 16-11, 107 to the Rovers, 14-7, 91. They'll take a lot of confidence out of that, the Rovers, Monty. They didn't get the chocolates today, but in saying that, they've shown they can match it with one of the best teams in the comp.
We've spoken about it. They're good and they're bad. It's just too much of a gap, isn't it? But they're good in that second quarter. They showed they could win the flag, I reckon, boys. If they could play 4 quarters of that sort of footy, it's as good as anyone's. But it's just that consistency that we ask for, and we always talk about it. Is it too many travellers? Is it the coach not living in town? Is it... As Gus McLeod has just shown me the score between Essendon and the West Coast.
I was just about to say that Kyle Langford kicked a goal in the 30th minute to put Essendon ahead by a point as well.
Anyway, yeah, so back to my point about the Rovers. They're good footy's good enough, but Albury just showed they're a consistent team. They've had 27 scoring shots today, so they've shown that they can get inside 50 enough. They're going to kick a score, so yeah, they're showing that both teams showed their credentials, but just I think Albury showed that they're that more consistent team.
Over the 4 quarters, you'd say Albury are the more consistent team, as you'd say there, Monty. But I think that
we're not quite there yet, Freaky. We're almost going to make our way into the rooms. Sky's just going to have to... She's only little Sky, and she's going to have to make her way through a lot of Albury Tigers supporters. Of course, normally pretty good coverage here at Tigerland for a song across the other side. I might have jinxed it. Here we go, Albury Tigers.
Anywhere you will see us in the green. Hey, we sing and sing. Hey, never mind, never mind.
point winners, the Albury Tigers over the Rovers on O&M Live. Stick around, the post-match interviews are coming your way next on O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
All clear.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.